You know, I hate it when that happens. I really hate it when that happens because it's supposed to be automatically set, and I don't check these things. I really should be checking these things. Don't worry, you're not deaf. Ragusta, hello. Thank you so much for joining. Mr. This Sucks, thank you so much for looking out for me, man. Really appreciate it. Now what it is that I plug this thing in. I typically don't have it plugged in all the time because sometimes I have sound coming from the laptop speakers instead of my headset, and that means it doesn't automatically switch. It really should. I probably should. Now, before the internet, don't worry, you're not deaf before the internet. I think you've got it. Yeah, I love it when people realize the sound is off. Yeah, I think that, you'd think by now I would have learned to automatically have it set. Unfortunately, there is no such setting. But either way, Many Colored Journal. What is going down? Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful evening tonight, day, wherever it is where you are. As I understand, I have somebody who watches me in Hawaii, and I know what day, I know what time it is in Hawaii. So either way, Mikey B, what is going down? You already have an idea, Mini Colored Journal. You're seeing the video in my timeline right now. I think I'm wondering if you've downloaded the very same set that the Things has given us here. Oh, you already have an idea for a video in and of itself. What's your idea? Put it in the chat. I want to know. I legitimately want to know. So, but yeah, as I was saying, the video in this timeline that you're seeing right now, courtesy of the Things. And where did I get that fur hat? What fur hat? This video is courtesy of the Things. Now, if you saw her Twitter, she just made the Lonathan videos, as she calls them. She made them available for everyone. In fact, I might as well go to her Twitter right now so you can see the post. And by the way, if you're not following her on Twitter, wonderfully funny person to check out. She does, tweets every so often. But she made available all of the Jonathan Locke videos, and they're I think that's every single one. It could be wrong, but all you really have to do is just scan the QR code or just go to her timeline. Whatever it is. But she also, if you don't have the ability to scan the QR code for any reason whatsoever, you can go to the turn on notifications, blah blah. You can also go to the description of her latest video, which was a Lonathan YouTube poop. And she's actually got the Mediafire link right there, so you should be covered either way. All right, Base to Things, absolutely Base to Things. And what we're going to do today is we're actually going to be tackling this source ourselves. In fact, this is the first time that I'm actually going to be seeing one of these in full. Actually, no, I lied. I've actually watched this video, listened to this video on and off in preparation. There are some things that we are going to be taking from that and editing as we go along. The microwave, but it shows Phoenix Wright rotating in the microwave. Oh my God. Phoenix Wright rotating. I have to look that up right off the bat. Sometimes when, it's funny. Actually, let's see, where did I put that thing? So when the 3DS, I guess it's something else, but I'll keep that in the back of my head. So when the 3DS eShop went down, I grabbed the trilogy, the Phoenix Wright trilogy, for just a couple of bucks, and I'm playing it right now. It's a wonderful game, wonderful series of games. So I'm wondering if you are doing that too, Mini Colored Journal. That's probably what sparked it. But yes, this is the microwave video, as you've guessed. Now, if you haven't seen the microwave video in full, we're going to play some of it so you're a little bit more acquainted. And I will say that this type of video lends itself to a lot of different types of edits that you can pull. Sentence mixing, I think, is the Thing's specialty, but she makes some wonderful edits in her last video that I think cooperate really well with the source. Here, though, what we're going to do is pretty simple, straightforward sentence mixing. Now, we have a little bit of a disadvantage because we don't have a transcript that we can pull from. This means that we're going to be doing this a little bit off the cuff. I tagged you in a post, my new video. It needs views. Hang on. If you tagged me in a post, let me see if I got that notification, Mr. This Sucks. Because typically YouTube does alert me when somebody does tag me. I don't think I've seen it yet, but post it in the chat. Post it in the chat. Look up My Food in the Microwave on YouTube. My Food in the Microwave. Okay, this is going to be... Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah, there was an anime or something. Actually, before I watch it in full, I might as well show it to you. So, it's called My Food in the Microwave. Should take us to YouTube. Nope. That's Bing for you. There we go. That's odd. All videos, YouTube. That's a little odd. I guess you just got to go to YouTube in and of itself. No biggie either way. So just do My Food in the Microwave. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why it doesn't update with the videos that you want sometimes. Like, you would think that there would be something here, but yeah, this is what you were talking about. And wow, that's a little loud. I'm between Turnabout Beginnings and Bridge to Turnabout. Nice. So, hang on. Taking its jolly old time sometimes. But this looks like it comes from one of the 3D games. And you know, that is something that we can use because he does go over the fact that a microwave does spin. So there are possibilities with this. Let me give it a look for you, buddy. So my favorite case is Farewell My Turnabout. So I think that is the end of the first game. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's the end of the first game. Now, I know that there was one, like, so far my favorite one has been the one that you actually use the DS controls for. They actually included a little bonus in the first game. That one is incredible. Good, like, long story, very full of twists and turns. You'll love the Blue Badger. Least favorite is Turnabout Big Top. Yeah, apparently that's also a, oh man, apparently that's also one that a lot of people liked. I got about a minute in, a little too much ear rape for me, buddy. That's all right. Well, no worries. So, what's the source of the video today? Like the non-poop one today, we are going to be tackling Jonathan Locke. A source of pride for the things. Now, like I said, we're going to be tackling the microwave video. And now, if you haven't seen it in full, if you haven't seen the full thing, we're going to take a look now. Now, I have notes here. And we're going to be taking note of different things that he is doing, that he said. And we're going to pull them out. And we're going to integrate them in some capacity. Now, I've already gone ahead and done that with a few things. I wanted to take some time to do it on the stream, though, so that we don't, do too much. So I don't do too much before we begin. I mean, one thing I love about these streams is that you can kind of start from scratch. You're almost going in completely naked. Now, in this case, like I said, I've seen the video before, but you know what? Every now and again, when you rewatch something, you miss. There's something you miss that stands out. So we're going to watch this in full. And keep in mind, it's going to be on this tiny screen here, but you should be able to see everything pretty clearly. Pretty clearly. What is my favorite classic YouTube poop? Static Shock, the ripoff of Electro by Deeper Cut. Turnabout Goodbyes. Oh, that is the case with Manfred from Karma. Okay. Yeah, Farewell My Turnabout is the case with Matt On Guard. Yes. Both of them are great cases. All right, let's do this. Now, you should be able to hear that just fine. Let me know if the volume is a little too soft, though.
Hi, I'm Chef Jonathan Locke, and today we are talking about microwaves.
Now, one thing I do want to stress is that even though Jonathan Lonathan, the name Jonathan Lonathan might be the things thing, I don't think that there would be any problem with us using the name Jonathan Lonathan. I mean, think of it this way. Spinge Bill is the name for SpongeBob, and people have used that in order to disguise their videos from Viacom. But here it could just be something that we integrate. We could, so in other words, use Jonathan Lonathan in this video. But if there's something else that stands out, then we will explore that.
This is a fairly typical example of a microwave. If you look at it, it's got numbers on the front. You use those to program both power and time. It's got a turntable in the middle.
And once again, the turntable, actually, while it's fresh on the mind, let's download that. Let's get that downloaded real quick, because we do want to use that Phoenix Wright joke right off the bat. In fact, I think that actually is going to be a very, I don't know about a clean chroma key, because you've got a ton of the skin tone on this video that is very similar to the background on this video, but you should be able to get something here. Let's go to Browse and go to the new folder that I've created. Now, one thing that I do want to talk about a little bit more on the stream as well is the fact that there are a whole bunch of these projects that we have started, and I'm going to give you a little bit of an update on this while we work on the very, very first edit of this video. So what we are doing, obviously, is we're kind of trying to make things on stream, and what I said earlier on the last stream is that we're going to try and complete everything on the 2 consecutive streams, the one from this past Saturday and this Sunday, or this last Sunday rather. This is something that I really do want to do, absolutely. Sometimes what happens though is there are little things that stick out for me after the fact that I want to explore even further, and they will make, in my mind, the video even better. And that's kind of what happened. Like, sometimes when you leave a video or any kind of project, what ends up happening is that when you revisit it, you see something you missed. And that's what's happening with the King Uses ChatGPT. So that's something that I'm working on. I'm hoping to have it done very, very soon. And then we're going to see it in full. You're going to see it in full, and you're going to, I think, love it a lot. You're going to see what we've done on the stream, combined with all of the new things that have been added. Nothing's been subtracted, really. It's more so that there are a lot of different ways for me to make the video even tighter. So I'm just going to see what a chroma key looks like before I follow through on something like that. And worst case scenario, if a chroma key on this background does not work, then we can just use the background in and of itself. Do we have a clean chroma key? It's going to be tight. Yeah, it's like the background and the face, same shade. So what we can do here is just shortcut it by just using the background of this video and use some simple cuts. Wow, Red Fox Bennington, welcome. Wow, SpongeBob, yes. I mean, Spingebill, I don't know who the first person to come up with the term Spingebill was, but it just took off, because as far as I remember, early SpongeBob poops did not use that term. And when I say early, I'm talking 08, 09. There were a lot of poops using SpongeBob. Viacom didn't exactly see them, because sometimes the quality of those videos passes whatever tests that YouTube has in place to check for content like that. So you'll see a lot of poops entitled SpongeBob, but Spingebill. Let's see. SpongeBob, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think maybe Sind Tragedy was the first. If there was somebody that came before them and I'm missing them, or maybe I'm mixing up somebody else. Maybe the philosopher John Locke can be referenced. Well, there's a deep cut right there. John Locke. John Locke. The initials JL, they make me think of J Lo. There was something else. There are a couple of others that came to mind. I didn't write those down. My username on Patreon is I wretched reading that. Yes. Don't worry. Thank you. Oh, man. Actually, I wretched reading that. I wasn't even aware that they allowed names that long. That's something interesting. I've been checking your channel, wondering where are the poops at. They're coming. Actually, if you're referring to like all my YouTube poops, they should be there, but they're going to be on the way. You look like if Bob Ross made YouTube poops, man. Let's see. I think somebody on the last stream or last streams said something similar. I first remember Cortez 3000 sanded with teeth doing it. 240 with, yeah, I thought that, was it Cortez actually? Now that I think about it, I remember him doing a lot of SpongeBob poops, but I always thought that they were using SpongeBob in the title. Like, I guess I'll have to look back on that. I wonder if there is some kind of, I'll have to look that up later, but I wonder if there's some kind of memorial or something for Cortez 3000, because I know that he, I think, did have his channel removed. I hope that wasn't the case. My Little Pony has a Bob Ross reference. That doesn't surprise me. I've seen people who have made all sorts of things with My Little Pony. I mean, one thing I'll say about the My Little Pony fandom is that they're extremely creative with the art. So, whoops, doesn't surprise me that there was something along those lines. Actually, I think that Bob Ross is another one of those celebrities that I think that people have a great fondness for. I think that he's like in that era, like in that zone with Scatman John and all that. Discord impersonates Bob Ross, and what about Discord? It's not as good an episode as a whole. Oh wait. Okay. I'm honestly, I wasn't sure if that was an actual episode or if that was just something that a fan made. But either way, it doesn't surprise me that Bob Ross was used. All right. So we got Phoenix Wright spinning. Now the anchor points, I want them to match up with the corners. Now, one thing I also do want to mention is that the YouTube poops that we have started on stream, I'll give you a little bit of an update on those as well. Velma, I'm about halfway through the episode. I want to use as much of the episode as I can, and that's something that we didn't do in the last stream. We took out bits and pieces. I want to say that if you've seen the first episode of Velma, I'm at the scene where she's actually about to enter Fred's house, and I can't remember if that's like 3/4 of the way through. But we're getting there. Another thing is the one where, let's see, the one that we'd started that was a Patreon request, the visit to the coffee shop. Now that one, I'm actually going to try and finish soon. If I see something else that I can do with it, though, I'm thinking of combining it with something else, making it almost like a jam pack, for lack of a better word. Maybe soften. Let's see. I want to see what happens if we feather out and see if we can soften some of the edges or make them look like they are, like they belong here. Right. Bob Ross YouTube poop when? I don't know if about Bob Ross YouTube poop. I've seen some of his videos used as YouTube poop. Stag Blob made a really good one back in 2008, but that was using a very classic YouTube poop style, one that is obviously reliant on the use of starts and stops, very snappy editing. If you know Stag Blob's style, regardless of whether it's 2008, 2007, 2009, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. By the way, wonderful classic YouTube pooper, really helped to set a lot of trends. This just doesn't seem to look right, but I'll see what I can make of it. And there we go. And he actually made a really good Bob Ross poop. Like I think he, what is a Sob Ross? I think that's what it went like. Can you make a Hotel Mario reference? If we can make it fit. So we've got Phoenix Wright spinning. Now this should not shake, and I'm going to kind of turn down the volume a little bit so that we can make it work out. Now, actually, no. Let's see. How long is this a camera? Yeah, this is a very still camera. It doesn't really pan all that much. Now, his hand does get in the way at a later point, but we don't have to worry about that because much of this frame here is him just explaining without the use of his hands, so that allows us a great amount of freedom to include Phoenix Wright in the interior of this microwave. So let's see how much leverage we have from this. Actually, I'll just make this skim across. Actually, is he spinning at all? There we go. There we go. Actually, I'm just going to move this down a little bit. Lots of spaghetti, but also put in Mussolini's saying spaghetti. I don't know. Is there a clip of Mussolini saying spaghetti on camera? Even on radio? Mussolini. What is my real name? Just call me the captain for now. Not intent to give out too much of my own identity as of yet, but I think that for the most part, you know, inevitably, I think I am going to have to give my real name, but not now. For now, just call me the captain. I like the SSBB Lounge song. Yeah, it kind of works with this. There is one, and he sounds funny. So Mussolini Spaghetti. Sounds like an unlockable character in Pizza Tower. Mussolini Spaghetti. Well, let's see what it sounds like. Why not? Oops. Mussolini Spaghetti. Oh my gosh, that was one of the first things that popped up. Can we get this into the video somehow? Yeah. Just get to the spaghetti part, my man. Hey, Cap, been a fan of you for a while, still remember your cold AMA video from 2009. Thank you so much, my boy. I remember that too.
Roma, la potenza marittima di Cartagine.
The way he stands.
Non sia il carcere.
Oh my gosh.
La grande campana suonerà
Send the
martello.
front. What are the back secret numbers in the back of my credit cards?
Dai picchi nevosi delle Alpi.
Who's my favorite Ace Attorney character?
A compiere I sacrifici necessari.
I'm gonna say Gumshoe.
E ricordatevi,
He's a recurring
o
character
camicie nere.
that I really like, kind of feel sorry for, but he's also very funny. Like, oh, whoa, kind of funny. You can make John say too many toasters from Hotel Mario. Yeah. I mean, this is a microwave video that we're working with.
Sarà. Io sarò alla vostra testa.
You know, it's weird. Oh, let me...
Io sarò alla vostra testa.
Yeah, I thought the subtitles... I thought it was too good to be true. Does he really say spaghetti or something? Mussolini says spaghetti shipped in this one.
Poschetti!
Okay, there we go. That's weird. Didn't actually know about that. All right. Can you do a sequel of the worst Sonic fan fiction using Sonic Forces? So I'll tell you right now. I have not seen an episode of Sonic Forces. I don't know what kind of show to expect, but for the most part, I think that if I'm going to do a sequel to the worst Sonic fan fiction ever, I would use something maybe a little more robust in its source. So in other words, I would use something that I can really get some good length out of. I feel like a video like the worst Sonic fan fiction ever, because when I made the episode 7, Star Wars episode 7 YouTube poop, I didn't want to use like an episode of Clone Wars as a follow-up to my episode 1 YouTube poop. I really did want to use a film. Now, Sonic games are loaded, absolutely loaded with cutscenes, but I think that with what we saw from Sonic 06, it was absolutely amazing how much you were able to squeeze out of that. I'm looking for a Sonic source where I can get a lot of stuff squeezed out of it. And like I said, never seen Sonic Forces yet. If that's a source that I can use and get a lot of mileage out of, then I'll use that as a follow-up. Maybe skim the video, yeah. Definitely should have done that. Do you have a least favorite Ace Attorney character? Not really. You know what I think? Yeah, it's a little... Yeah, that wasn't a clip. Okay, there we go. Yeah, the thing is that the chat is on a little bit of a delay, so I'm typically trying to keep up with what you're saying while doing other things. But either way, I am paying attention. No worries on that. Sonic Underground. Oh, there's a show. I remember when Deepercut made a poop with that. Alright, so we've got ourselves... I was able to stretch this, make it look pretty natural. So I think I'll end this clip here. I think this is a nice little snippet. And we'll go back to the video now. Sonic X is fun. Yeah, absolutely it's fun. It's one of the most, I think it's the most commonly used Sonic source. Could be wrong on that, but still. Another idea is making a sequel to Mulan Starts an OnlyFan with Mulan 2. I do not want to watch Mulan 2 again. That's the kind of source that is not enjoyable for me. I just can't, it aggravates me so. Or a chat YTP of Mulan 2. I guess we'll see. I mean, I think that video stands very well on its own, but I'll see what I can think of. So let's go back. Oops. Let's go back to the video and listen carefully.
Microwave. If you look at it, it's got numbers on the front. You use those to program both power and time. It's got a turntable in the middle. Now, the way that microwaves heat are by a form of radiation.
Does he touch the turntable? He mentions a turntable. Does he touch the turntable? This is just me and my active imagination. I think when he opened the microwave, he put his hand... Did he put his hand on the inside? Because if so, there's an opportunity here. There's a great opportunity here. Let's see. Ooh. It comes so close. So what I'm thinking here is if he's able to use his hand, stick his hand into the microwave, and use the turntable almost like a DJ would use their turntable. That's a pretty slick effect. Get that record scratch sound that you hear so often. Where do babies come from? I don't know if you're old enough to know this yet. Let's see. You use those to program the numbers on the front. Ooh. That's good too. Hold on. Let me get this snippet. Let me just...
Example of a microwave. If you look at it,
yeah, he's sticking his hand in. So what I might just do here is anchor cut the hand out and make my own version of him using the microwave as a turntable. We'll put this off to the side here. And we'll look for that word turntable again. We're going to put the two together so we know what each of them means.
It's got numbers on the front.
Numbers on the
you
front.
Use those to program both power and...
And the numbers on the front, the distorted audio, that's a great effect. We're going to use that. Actually, after I grab the turntable line, we're going to go back, get the numbers on the front line, and make that edit. Let's do that.
It's got a turntable in...
It's got a turntable. Here we go.
It's got a turntable in...
Right there. Let's grab that and put it right next door. Right next door. Sometimes when I listen to this, I'm listening to this with headphones on. So one thing I used to do very often is, because here's the thing, I'm lucky enough to work from home. And because I work from home, almost 100% of my day from 9 to 5 has to be behind a computer, but not, unfortunately, on my computer for YouTube poops. When I used to drive to get to work, hold on one second.
It's got numbers on the front. You use those to program both.
What I used to do when I drove to work, my commutes were very long. And when I say very long, by the way, 45 minutes to an hour. It was a It was a tough job, but either way, what I did was I would have the audio of the source that I was working on playing on repeat, and this is through the car's Bluetooth speaker. So if something came to mind while I was driving, what I would do is I would pull over momentarily, grab a pen and paper, and write it down. And there were actually a few of my favorite YouTube poops were made using that method. In fact, Game On Part 2 was made just from ideas in the car and on the fly while editing. In addition to that, the Dollop Days one that I entered into the Dollop Days contest, that was another one. Oh, man, sentence mixing becomes a whole other thing because you obviously need to use your brain, you listen very carefully, but when you're driving, like at least when I'm driving, my mind's a little bit more relaxed and in a different zone. It's almost zen. Maybe flood the clock on the microwave with colons. Is Jolly Lonathan a nod to the things to food YouTube poops? Yes, it is. In fact, I think you might have also just seen, J-Lo himself. We're working with Jolly Lonathan today. You should make the microondas the microwave explode. I think that's what you meant. You should make the microwave explode. Absolutely. In fact, hold the phone. Bam. Programs the microwave. Countdown timer. 3 seconds. Bomb arms. Explodes. That's going to take some time to work, but I'll write that down right off the bat. Microwave. Arms bomb. Bam. What is my favorite Sonic 06 cutscene? The one where Silver gets kicked in the back of the head by Shadow. A truly unintentionally funny scene. Do you know that knowing is half the battle? Does he say back in the video? You can say both numbers on the front and then use numbers on the back. This is one of those times where I wish we had a transcript. Now there is some software that can transcribe that I don't have access to, at least right now, but this is one of those instances where I would search the word back and find it. In fact, that's a very solid idea, Mikey B. That's a very solid idea. I've no doubt in my mind that he does say it. I mean, this microwave video is give or take 16 minutes. If he doesn't say the word back, I will be very surprised. This is one of the, remember, I used to listen to these in the car, so that means that I almost knew each video that I listened to by heart by the time that I was done using it. That episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX that I used, I think I can use it line for line because I listened to it so much. I used the what the fuck boom sound. It's so funny. Well, the what the fuck boom sound, I think that I don't know about that. I think so. It's not that I don't have anything against it, but it's a little bit too overused, and I don't know if now is the right time to pull it out again. Would you do a YouTube poop with Jimmy Davis? YouTube poop tennis with Jimmy Davis? Absolutely, absolutely. So let's go back here. We are going to use that distortion. Let's do this.
It's got numbers on the front. You use those.
You use the to program. Hold on.
It's got numbers on the front. You use those to program both.
Program. Okay. You'll see where I'm going with this in just a sec.
Program both.
Program. So some of the simplest sentence mixing can be the best sentence mixing, and I think that's what makes this source such a really rich source for the things. I mean, she obviously gets a lot of mileage out of it. I think she's at 7 videos using these videos, or 7 videos using this type of source. What the fuck boom is such a fresh and new meme. Well, dang, man. I feel like I'm in 2007 already. You should replace the numbers was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with 6, 21, 3, 11, 25, respectively on the microwave. Well, let's see. It's got numbers on the front. It's got numbers on the front.
It's got a turntable.
Oh, that's a turntable.
It's got numbers on the front. You use program.
Let's see. We need the word the. The. He is got to be using that word so often.
In the middle. Now the way that
The way.
Now the way.
But he's bleeding it in with the way.
The way that.
But I don't think that's going to be a problem here.
The way.
And if it is, I can just soften the video's audio just a little bit, or at least that scene, in order to make it conform to what we want. Jonathan is the modern Rosen. You know, I really hope so. I really hope he does become the modern Rosen. I'll say this. One of the hardest things about Jonathan Locke YouTube Poops is that it's really hard to find that source material. The things had it in fresh form. She was able to make very clean. In fact, these sources are the exact same sources that the things uses. So what this is kind of doing, like, we're using the exact same tools the exact same ingredients that she's using. But now that she's made them public, I'm hoping that somebody does upload them to YouTube, because I don't know if anybody is going to download from Mediafire all the time. I think they're more likely to search on YouTube for the sources themselves. And if they're on YouTube, I have to wonder or worry, depending, whether or not they're going to be flagged for copyright. I hope not. These are wonderful sources. But Michael Rosen was available on YouTube. You could just download his stuff, bam, like that. And when he was found, I mean, the way that he spoke, the way that he told his stories, the facial expressions, all of it was so perfect.
The program. You use the.
Okay, good. The isn't too bad. We're going to just soften the fade out, because the end of the is leading into a W word. I don't want that. I want it to lead back into numbers on the front. Let me just move these over a smidge here. Move these over a smidge. But I really do hope that he does become the modern Rose, and I hope that more and more people are using him as a source. He's not as extroverted as a Michael Rosen video, but there's a very simple, I guess there's a subtlety to these videos that is very easy to spot, that any creator that wants to pull them into their timeline will be able to find all sorts of magic with. I'll say this is a wonderful source that the thing's found.
It's got
numbers on the front. And typically what I like to do sometimes is when I lower pitch or distort pitch, then I sometimes like to change the video portion as well. And I can do this several ways, which I'll get to as soon as we make our audio edits here. Now, I like even numbers to start. Let's see how this sounds. And this is before we add any audio event effects. And I don't know about distortion, but if we're going to add distortion, we're going to make a soft distortion, not something that's going to be hard on the ears. And yeah, let's see. Which year of the 2010s was your favorite so far? 2020, 2021, or 2022? Oh, goodness graphics. Man, you know, it's hard to say, because this is one of those things where I think as we look back, we're probably going to be seeing these years a lot more differently.
the numbers on the front. You use the numbers on the front.
Let me see if I can just make this bleed into the a little bit more.
Use the numbers on the front. You use.
Okay, there we go.
It's got numbers. Program.
Yeah, program. Okay, and you'll see what I'm doing this too. With this too. I'll say this: 2020 obviously was a hard year for a lot of people, and I don't know if I can ever look back on that year and say, yeah, that was a great year. I mean, only real good thing I can say about that year. Well, I don't know about the only real good thing. I mean, this is just the first thing that pops up the top of my head. A lot of my favorite albums came out that year, and I'm talking about the 2 Taylor Swift albums, Evermore and Folklore. The Weeknd's After Hours, RTJ4. I mean, I don't know if it was just because of the timing, but that music came out that year, and there's some of my favorite albums. 2021, 22. Again, I gotta really look back and reflect. No one will replace Rosen. No, nobody will replace Rosen. I've seen the things YouTube posts so much that Jonathan Locke now sounds wrong. It's only Jonathan Lonathan to me. In fact, fun fact, I didn't even realize that I didn't even realize that I had been saying Jonathan Lonathan to describe his videos. I didn't even think about Jonathan Locke for referencing his videos at all. I think that the things has permanently etched Jonathan Lonathan into all of our collective subconscious. Hi, my name is Johnny Lonnie, and this is my Jolly Lolly. I was thinking about some Ollie words in there.
In the middle. Now the way
Let's see. Two. I need the word two.
in the middle. Now the way that microwaves heat are by a form of radiation. Please don't be scared of the word.
Oh, by the way, this line right here. This line right here.
Please don't be scared of the word. Everything is radiation.
This, oh my gosh. When I first heard this, this source, when I was listening to everything that he was saying, this line, just the way that he says it, I don't know why it's so unintentionally funny. I'm going to be exploiting this line.
Radiation. It just means radius. Remember that from math? It goes out in a circle. That's what radiation is. It's some sort of wave that goes out in all directions at once.
I love his hand motions in this. I absolutely love his hand motions. Maybe add, you use the numbers, the Frumber, oh my God. Many-colored journal. Frumbers on the Nunt. Man, that is a killer line right there. Great spot. That new Miley Cyrus one is good this year. That the Miley Cyrus really turned a corner in the 2020s. Yeah. He looks like he's giving the finger. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Maybe point that on the video. Ollie, yeah. That was a really good line. Please don't be scared of me. That's a good line use as well.
So microwave radiation is actually an adaptation of radar. And what it does is it agitates the molecules without a direct application of heat.
I love how clear it is that this was made in Microsoft Paint.
You need to understand.
Okay. So he says 2 here, but it's not the 2 that we're looking for. So when you look at a transcript and you see the word 2, if you're looking for the word 2 in any of your videos, sometimes what happens is, even though it's spelled T-O, and you think that you're going to get that long vowel sound, what you're actually going to get is a soft U sound, the kind that you would hear in the word umbrella. Now, that's when people are saying to, excuse me, are saying to in a very certain way, almost like they're trying to get past the word, they're trying to speed through the word. What are you going to do? Like that. But when you're using almost like a directional to, like to, or you're using the number 2, then people are more likely to use that long O sound that you're desiring for certain sentences. Have his hand in the position that looks like he's giving the finger and say, please be scared. Oh, I wonder if there's another thing that we can do with that. I wonder if there's another. Yeah, I mean, if his hand was holding, if he was holding something in his hand at the same time. I mean, as a chef, he would hold a knife. He could also have something a little bit more abstract in his hand. You could do whatever you want with YouTube poop. That looks like it could be a face. Water and fat being the 2 eyes. I can kind of see it. I can see this Cheshire cat mouth almost.
You need to understand that because this is a unique form of radiation, it doesn't work with everything. here we have an array of things that can and can't go into microwaves to use as a cooking container. Yes, no, yes, no, yes,
no, maybe.
Maybe is plastic. And you can tell whether plastic is microwave safe by...
Now, the way that he perfectly enunciates plastic, there are a whole bunch of things that can be done with there. Now, there are obviously plastic surgery applications, and if there's an opportunity for him to reference certain parts of his body as plastic, that's one thing that's stuck out to me. It's one of those things where repeated listens of the source are going to yield spectacular possibilities. And even if you don't get something, you can probably find something else in the source that you can use. Sorry, I hopped off a minute. Walking in, wanted to conserve battery. That is okay, mister. This sucks. That is quite all right. We've got a whole bunch of ideas to start. Sword, maybe, yeah. A sword is an option. What kind of sword? I'm wondering. We'll make the Cheshire Cat fade into the... Oh, you know what? Well, now that's neat. That's an easy edit that I can take care of in a few seconds. And we'll need a snapshot. And that means I've got to just reroute where I want my snapshots to go. And I'm going to go to the JLon folder because JLon, Jonathan Lonathan. And I'm just going to use Mike. Mike. That's good. You know, I love it when things pop out like that to you guys. Maybe it's a baby. Oh, God, no. Please don't be scared of the numbers on... Oh, my... Man. Please don't be scared. My gosh. You know... Alright, let's get a Cheshire Cat real quick. Let me write this down. Don't be scared of the numbers on the front. Be scared of the numbers on the front. That line is such an unexpectedly wonderful line. Oh, I'll need to go to Bing Cheshire Cat. Cheshire Cat. Oh, come on, Bing. I'm using you because I trust in you. Give me a Cheshire... Okay. Cheshire Cat Disney. I mean, we could use some of these other cats, but I think that... Oh, better yet, Smile. Cheshire Cat Smile, I think, is going to be best. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. I love it. And I love this, too, because you can chroma key it. This is perfect. So, save image as. Let's do this thing. I'm going to go back to our JLo folder here and save it and bring it on in. And I don't care about renaming it because it's already got Cheshire Cat in it. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, yes. That's a... Let me just write that down. That's another... I can hear that in my head. Luna, I can hear that in my head. Yes, no, yes, no. I have diarrhea. Oh, man. Way back in the early 2000s, I think maybe you've seen this show. There was a show called Invader Zim, and there was a diarrhea line that I'll always remember. One of the parents, the fake parents of Zim, says, "Yep, diarrhea," in the perfect zoom. Maybe make the no and the yes be combined. Yeah, like combining the yeses and the nos, and one of the... Oh, Ness. Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. Can you repeat the question? You should make Jonathan give the middle finger. So I tried. Okay, so one of the edits that I've made in my part 2 of the Shark Boy and Lava Girl YouTube poop is actually one of the characters giving the middle finger. Now, obviously, they don't give the middle finger in the movie, so I have to use a stock image or an image pulled online of a middle finger. Getting the skin tone to match can be tricky with that, but if you don't care about that, that is a very solid joke nonetheless. I'm helping. Yeah, absolutely, Luna. You're wonderful ideas so far. I mean, Luna, if you have ever dabbled in YouTube poop, I mean, post your stuff in the chat. I'll watch it on my downtime. I love watching YouTube poops that you guys have made, regardless of the style, regardless of how long ago you made it. Hey, put it in there. I want to actually see a lot of what you make. I feel like it's such a wonderful medium. Here we go. So I'm going to add a chroma key here, very simple chroma key here for this, and instead of the green, instead of the blue, instead of the red, I'm going to hit the black because it's such an extreme color. Even the eyes, the yellow, that should not go. So let's put this back in. Then we're going to soften the edges. Now, the black acts as a borders. It acts as the pupils as well for the eyeballs, but I don't think we're going to run into any big difficulties with this. Now, in addition to that, if we also explore the idea of just cutting it out and then having the chroma key versus the actual cuts. Now, the cuts might just take a little bit longer. I think actually cutting it out might be a little bit better now that I look at it. So let's do that. Let's do that. Or please be scared, yeah. Yep. The smash taunt for Ness. I'll put that in parentheses here. Yep. I have ideas, but not the drive. Let me tell you something. Drive is something that you only get after you start. So think of it this way. If you have a boulder at the top of a very steep hill, obviously, if you see it going down a hill, it's going to gain more and more momentum. It's going to gather speed. It's going to get to the bottom really quick. But the only way that it can start its descent is by providing an external force. That external force comes from you. Drive and inspiration. Do not confuse them. If you have the inspiration, you should use it. And if you don't have the drive, the best thing that you can do, the best possible thing that you can do, is get started. You will never know until you start what you are capable of and how far you can go, especially in a medium like YouTube poop, because there are no rules. The only rules that you have are the ones you set for yourself. Give it a shot. I absolutely. Let's see. Grimfang, absolutely. You should definitely give it a shot. Just pull open whatever video editing software you find. Dabble in it. Flirt with it. Experiment. That's how we got this whole thing off the ground. We messed around with something, and this is what it produced. Don't ever think that you're not going to be good enough to have your stuff be on YouTube. Not to mention, nowadays, there are wonderful communities, be it Reddit, be it Discord, be it YTP Mania, wonderful communities where you can actually put your stuff online and collaborate with other like-minded individuals, including some who are probably in the same boat as you, who have not really started a YouTube poop that they want to create. There we go. Never dabbled, might try. Absolutely, you should try. Absolutely. I'm running out of ideas. Thanks for the tips. Main thing is remembering to be driven. Well, one thing I always want you to remember is that drive only comes when you start. Think of it this way. Like I said, boulder on the top of the hill. The drive is not what pushes it down. The drive is what keeps it going. And it's gravitational. It's infectious. And if you start, by the way, and you find that you're not absorbed in it, if you find that it's not something that you would find to be to your liking, then don't feel pressure to continue it. Because the reality is that a lot of people start these hobbies these days. Cool new things with expectations. And that's another thing that makes YouTube Poop so great. People might have the softest expectations for YouTube Poop, or at least what a YouTube Poop can be. I don't think, like, it's been years since I've seen people be judgmental about this medium. So what I'm thinking here, I did add a chroma key here. I could add a white chroma key here to create the effect of teeth. I can deform the teeth so that they line up perfectly with the shape of the bowl. Does Jonathan say possibly? Because I was thinking something like you can possibly saucibly make sauce. Possibly saucibly. So the thing is, I gotta rack my brain to remember if that's something he does say. But I'll say this: he does say maybe. He does say maybe. In fact, I think we just listened to him use the word maybe as he was going over vessels to put and not put into the microwave. So there are all sorts of ways that you can manipulate that in a very similar fashion, I might add. So we want the wide brim of this mouth, and we're going to edit the corners as soon as we get to that. So we've got the wide brim of this mouth, and then we're going to try and deform the rest. Actually, the deforming is going to take quite a while, so let's just put a pin in this. We've got a couple of things that have been spoken about in the chat as well, including everything that was mentioned in Don't Be Scared. Before we get to that, though, we've got to get to this.
It's got numbers on the front. You use the numbers on the front. You use the numbers on the
I think it's not bleeding, it's more interrupting.
Use the numbers on the front. You use the numbers on the front.
Maybe if I soften this one as well.
You use the numbers on the front. You use the numbers on the front. You use the numbers.
I think this one actually has to be softened before we go.
The numbers. Use the numbers on the front.
There we go. I think that sounds a light years better.
You use the numbers on the front. You use
Frumbers on the nunt. Let's apply that now. And then we'll add some distortion effects where needed. Distortion. So, and we'll also go in, let's go even deeper with the voice as well. So we're at -2, we want -4. Let's save what we've got. Again, I'm a frequent saver because you never know what might happen to the computer. It could explode into a pile of flames and then you lose everything. Well, not everything, because I'm doing everything on a hard drive, an external hard drive, so I can just plug it into another computer, download Vegas, and pick up right where I left off. What are the distortions can you do? Not ear rape, though, within the particular audio. So, well, let's explore that now. Just
numbers on the front. You use numbers on the front.
Actually, I'm going to make this deeper. I'm going to make this a little bit deeper, and then I'm going to show you what distortion effects you've got to choose from.
Numbers on the front.
And, you know, the way that the pitch is lowered, I think I'm going to start with this one. So, audio event effects can be a little bit vague unless you know the lingo here. You've got limiter, you've got phaser, reverb, stereo delay. Now, as far as what will work, it's entirely up to you. Sometimes what I love to do is just add things and see what comes out of it. Sometimes you get these really cool effects and sounds that you can reuse in other videos. So one thing that we are going to do is distortion. Now, ExpressVX distortions, we don't want the, well, actually, flange wah-wah. I remember we used that in the last stream, or something similar to it. So, let's see what we get.
Numbers on the front.
Yeah, I like that.
Numbers on the front.
on the front.
Numbers on the front.
So, what this is doing, and like the way that it's manipulating the sound is so subtle, but you can hear it if you really pay attention. So let me see if I can turn that off and turn it right back on so you get what I mean. So I'm going to deselect for now. And it sounds like
Numbers on the front.
And then that was it before.
Numbers on the front.
It's almost got this, that subtle twinge to it. Actually, let me strengthen it a little bit more. Woo, good morning. Have a good one, everyone. Have a good morning, Valor Zero Advent. I keep forgetting that, where I am, it's in the evening, but everywhere else could be morning, for all I know. What does resonant do? Well, first things first.
Numbers on the front.
There we go. And then let's add audio effects. And, oops, no, that just pulls up the audio event effects. Let's apply audio event effects. There we go. Now, as far as resonant filter, I think is what you had your eye on. Let's take a listen. Oh, you have to, so it's going to save a copy of this. Now let's see how it sounds. Preview. That's a little weird. Did we add it to the wrong source? Cancel. Hang on.
Numbers on the front.
Yeah, so numbers on the front. Now let's go to apply. Let's redo. Maybe what happened is the place it started was incorrect. So resonant filter. Let's try that again. That's odd. Well, let's just play around with it, see what we get. And if we don't like it, we can always undo it. And some of these effects, they have to render themselves. So what I'm going to do, let me just let's just put it into YTP, make it easy. Wave effect, and there.
Numbers on the front. You used.
Yeah. It's very subtle, very subtle. It looks like it didn't do much here. It made a little bit of a difference, but it's not a palpable difference as much as that wah-wah sound is. All right. I just had an idea of remixing, say, hi, I'm Lonnie John Silver, and this is the Jolly Roger. Don't know how I would make Roger, though. So, let's see. I mean, the way that the things came up with Jonathan Lonathan, I mean, it was very natural. I mean, you just take the L of Jonathan Locke, because it shares the same, like, John and Locke, same vowel sound. It's that soft O sound, and all she did was that. Sometimes you don't want to stretch too much and try to find something that like fills in a blank in your mind. Sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches and chew and make them say things that will be a little bit more natural and organic, and that's usually what's going to produce some more funny results. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't make them say Lonnie John Silver and this is the Jolly Roger. There probably are some words that he uses that we can manipulate and make them say that. If you splice too much, though, you can risk it sounding not unnatural, but too busy. Busy is a good word here. So I'll keep my ears peeled. Lonnie John Silver. Lonnie John Silver. And this is the Jolly Roger. Jolly Roger, there we go. There could be a bunch of words that he's using in this source. Is it a bank holiday to be trained? Yeah, I mean, yeah, there is a, like, Lonnie John Silver. I mean, John, we already know John is going to be pulled from there. Silver is going to be a little bit trickier, I think, unless he uses the word silverware, and he might just use the word silverware because he's, again, I'm just trying to remember what he has said, but I think he mentioned silverware cannot go into a microwave. So there's the word silver. Lonnie, that fills out the rest. We can do that. Like there's an N, there are N and Y words, I'm sure, aplenty in this. I'm going to be lurking and drawing, but I'm going to have you in the background. I appreciate it, Luna. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for just being with us today.
Numbers on the front.
Okay. And
The front. You use numbers on the front. You use the numbers on the.
Okay, let's get this the integrated in. And this has to match the pitch of this prior audio clip here. So what we want is maybe a -2. Actually, it was -2. Yeah, so there we go. And this is also a little bit louder, but it's not an alarmingly loud difference. So
you use the numbers on the front.
And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the audio drops here, because after a period you do make it harder for things to be understood and interpreted. I think where we are right now, we know he's saying numbers on the front, and I love the way that he says numbers on the front. Let's just stop it right there.
Numbers on the front. You use the numbers on the front.
In fact, this is going to provide us with some great opportunities for some nice little distortion effects. Now, Vegas has a whole array. I mean, Vegas is one of the best softwares when it comes to color correction. You can even make some things happen that, again, major studios use Vegas in the production of their films. Tints, inversions when they need to use them, like all sorts of things. Now, again, when I think about distortion, I always think about just the way that the colors change and become more and more distorted to reflect them. And this is one example. Now, this is a threshold effect, and you can see how much different it is from the clip. You have the cupboards up here turning a very deep red. You have deep, dark blacks and very pale whites right there with some splotches of yellow. Very simple. Very simple, and I think that it's great. And in fact, we can even edit some of the shapes here too. We can choose to make a deformity. All right. Luna, you're a YouTube poop goldmine right now. Damn right you are. Damn right you are. Oh man. Oh, I love these. So the version of Vegas that I have has all of these preset effects that are intended for those VR headsets. In fact, the Samsung Gear 360. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what happens when I put one of those in. In fact, I think you've seen me use something like this in a video before. Now, we're going to flirt with this. Going to make it look, let's see. So that's for the Samsung Gear 360, and not all versions of Vegas will have this, but if there's one thing that I absolutely love, it's messing with these kinds of, there we go. It's messing with these kinds of effects because I don't even know how else you can produce them. So we've got a field of view. Let's see if we remove the vignetting. It gives us a little bit more room to play with these. Let's take a look at the refinement tools. If we adjust the center, the radius is, oh yeah, the radius, the rotation. And these are all subtle tools. I think I'm going to just leave it right here, though. I don't want to do, let's see.
Numbers on the front.
Excuse me. Let me take a little sip of Celsius here. There we go. This is relevant to my interests. I'm glad to hear Ultra 404. Welcome to the stream, by the way. That's a great frame. Could we get a Josh effect in there somehow? Yeah, of course. I mean, the name John is ripe for the word Josh. I wonder where else we can use it, though.
Numbers on the front.
Then we're going to add maybe some softer, less complex distortions to this frame, since this is also a, let's see.
You use the
Numbers on the front.
Yeah. So one of the rules of thumb that I use is the deeper the voice, the harder the distortion should be. Now, let's see what this will do for us if we apply it. Oh,
Numbers on the front.
Now, let's see if I can make his head a little bit more. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, that's what I like. Okay, let's see if I can get his head into the middle here. This is going to require a little bit of flirting with the camera pan. If I rotate the camera, I'm sure that I'll... Oh, yeah, right there. Right there. I sound like I'm getting a massage or something. And we don't want to. I don't want to add any color effects. Maybe what I'm thinking about is a nice mirror effect to go on top of this. A mirror effect ought to produce some very nice visuals here. Yeah, that's it.
Numbers on the front. You use the
And I'm going to just take this away so we can bleed this video file.
numbers on the front.
There we go. In fact, there we go.
you use the
Numbers on the front. You use
Yeah. All right. Now, numbers on the front and frumbers on the nunt. Let's make frumbers on the nunt.
program.
We're just going to kind of reset here. When I say reset, what I mean is we're going to just go back to the normal pitch, have them restart the line, and add some frumbers on the nunt to it.
It's got numbers on the front.
But I want the lead-in to be a little different. We could do something like, "Ha, I'm Jajlal." That's a CS188 line if I ever heard it. Making a YouTube poop of a YouTube poop stream sounds meta as fuck. Yeah, I'm sure that that's something that's going to happen eventually. I know some people have made YouTube poops of actual streams before. It wouldn't surprise me if a YouTube poop stream eventually got pooped. Hella long, though. Something like that. Classic. Yep, classic technique right there.
It's got numbers on the front.
Let's go back to the original video and pull from what we need to pull from.
Have a property called putting a pan in there. However,
Oh, whoops, I went a little too far.
please don't be scared of the word. Everything microwaves heat in the middle. Now, the way that microwaves power and time, we are talking about micro.
Let's see.
And
Where
you can
were
tell
we?
whether plastic is microwave safe by
Let's see, I'm looking for that right lead in. I remember it being right around this section.
in all directions at once. So microwave radiation is actually an adaptation of radar. And what it does is it agitates the molecules.
Oh, agitate. Ooh. Ooh, agitates. I don't know. Again, when you listen to a source over and over again, sometimes little things stick out. Agitates. Like, the way that he speaks in these videos makes him sound like if he were angry, he would just talk to you in that tone of voice. Almost like his version of anger is just mildly disapproving. So him saying, "I am really agitated right now," would be a perfect line. Let's take that word agitates.
It agitates.
Especially if it's right, if he's referencing you, like, "You really agitate me right now," or "You are really agitating me right now."
Agitates the.
Let's just take this, put in our little pool of clips over to the left. And oh, we got a frozen finger. We got a frozen finger. And there we go. I was a little scared that we were going to get a freeze and we were going to have to restart Vegas. So I'm just going to put it right here. Here we go. Now let's pivot back. There's YTPMV potential in him saying numbers on the front. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that there is, like, there are some other YTPMV possibilities strewn throughout.
Agitates the molecule.
Making a YTP MV is going to be a little tricky as a stream. I should challenge myself. Having a property of putting it in there for some reason that made me giggle. Also, that's a good mix. Oh, agitati. Second A, same as the first. Agitates the numbers on the front. Yeah. Just reverse agitates, so it makes another word like midway. Yeah, I think that would also work. Let's pull a copy of that and see how it sounds if we were to do a forward reverse on this. I'm sure we're going to get some great results from that.
Agitate.
And when you reverse something, obviously like if you've ever seen the movie Tenet, when they're in reverse, the sound effects are appropriate, almost like there's a dust before the sound starts, and we're probably going to hear that toward the tail end of this word that we have made, whatever it is. And
Agitate.
let's see, agitation. Now, I wonder if we flirt with it, what else can we do?
Agitate. Agitate.
Agitation. I have no idea how I would spell that, but that works with me.
Heats the molecules without a direct application of heat. You need to understand that because.
Oh, ooh.
You need to understand that.
Oh, and we have a guest today, by the way. I think you've all met Zoe before. Hello there, Zoe. She hops on my lap often. And when she does, she knows that she's going to get attention. She knows that she's going to get warmth. Because of course she does. Hello there, little Zoe. Ah, you had a nice spot of fun in the water bowl, I see. Is that a cat? Yes, that is a cat. Agit twice with a T at the end, or agitati sounds funny in my head. Hang on. So I'm using a corded microphone with headset, and she's sitting on the cable. There we go. So agitati, I wonder if we can do that.
Agitate.
Let's see.
Agitate.
We need that T sound to become more present in the first part.
Agitate.
Shrink the first part of this clip right here.
Agitate.
Agit. It almost sounds like he's saying agit. Almost like the second half of the word doesn't start with a T, but it starts more with an A. I wonder if we soften the A sound, will we get something?
Agitate.
We get something a little bit better. Okay. Let's stick a pin in that, so to say.
You need to understand that.
And I love this line. You need to understand, I'm going to use this as the lead-in, going back to numbers on the front. You need to understand the numbers on the front, or frumbers on the nut.
You need to understand that.
But is he using that or the? I think I'm just going to reuse that the word that we had pulled from earlier. Stop it from getting too bled here.
Understand.
Sounds bubbly. Okay. We'll worry about that later. We need to understand the frumbers on the nut.
It's got numbers on the front.
The cool part about this mix that we're going to do is that the vowel sounds should be similar, because they're almost like a blend of a soft O and a soft U sound.
Numbers on the front. You use numbers on the front.
Numbers on the front. So let's see if we can get a cool, crisp frumbers on the nunt.
Numbers on the front. Numbers on the front.
So first we need to completely remove all consonant sounds from the start here. I would merge the audio a bit for the agitates. Yeah, I would do that too. Slight overlap. Read my mind. We're going to return to that. You need to understand to yeet the food. Ooh. Oh, my gosh. Luna, you should be on more streams. yeet the food. Agitate Jeanette. Now reverse that clip. Okay, you could use the eat and heat to make yeet, and the Y and the U to make yeet. Yeah. Man, we've got a whole bunch. You know, I wish I could stream forever. I'll tell you that right now.
Numbers on the front.
So, I think we got
Numbers on the front. Numbers on the front.
So an F sound, it has typically a longer lead-in because it's a consonant sound that's almost like it's got build-up to it. F. And regardless of whether it's FR or just F, you're going to need to allow yourself a lot of space, or rather, a lot of that F to be present.
Front. Front. Front.
Now that sounds like runt. Let's get unt.
Front.
Nope. R is another tricky one.
Front.
There we go. Let's see what we get.
Frumbers on the front.
Yes! We got frumbers. We got frumbers. And now let's get nunt.
None. None.
He doesn't sound that T. He doesn't sound that T on the end. So instead of saying numbers on the front, he's saying numbers on the front, and he's stopping after that N. That's something that a lot of people do. So I'm not going to bother with adding the T there.
Frumbers on the none.
Okay, we want.
None.
Here we go. I like the way this sounds.
Frumbers on the none.
But I think that it needs to be a little tighter.
None. On the none.
I think I should bleed this. Let's see.
Frumbers on the none.
No, too bled. If I go back to this and then try to get something out of here.
On the none.
See if I can pull it a little bit more.
On the none.
More.
Frumbers on the none.
Nope, too much.
Frumbers on the none.
Let me see. I'm gonna.
Frumbers on the none.
Frumbers on the.
On the none. Frumbers on the none.
Okay, we'll work with that. I can manipulate the audio a little bit later, but we got a great little frumbers on the nuns. This is the kind of sentence mixing that I think often goes on. It's not spoken about enough. Just some simple mixing. Some of the most simple mixes. Back in 08 and 09, there was a ton of focus on splicing. Let me just take a sip here. Now, when I say splicing, obviously, the creation of brand new words from existing words. Now, some of the biggest pioneers in that, Dual Screen 77 is one that comes to mind, and they used a ton of sources and splice so much, like anime, for example. I think, yeah, he also made one using Beauty and the Beast. But the thing about those poops, while great, undeniably had some wonderful splicing, there were also some splices that didn't quite click. You couldn't understand what they were saying all the time. And this would often lead to half of the poop being really, really great and funny. The other half, you're missing some of the jokes. Simple sentence mixing like this is not just funny in and of itself, but it's also some of the easiest to pull off. You don't have to worry about making real words, even understandable sentences, like understandable sentences like sensical sentences.
You need to understand the frumbers on the none.
There we go. Let's pull this in. I need to understand the frumbers on the nunt.
You need to understand the frumbers on the none.
I still think it's still a little bit.
On the none.
There we go. That's a hard end sound, so not something that is easy. Maybe this will make a difference.
On the none.
He does take that breath before numbers on the front, so it doesn't surprise me that that end sound is really, really tricky. But still, I think we got some great options here. Welcome back, Franco Lopez Quintana. Frumbers on the Nun still sounds good. Yep. Hey, gotta go, but I might hop back later. Good to see you, Luna. I hope to have you back on. We're streaming for another hour and a half. Another hour and a half. And then, if you can't make it, every Thursday, 7 Eastern Standard Time to 10 Eastern Standard Time. It's great to have you on. Now, we've got Frumbers on the Nunt, and let me put a little bit of a check. Don't be scared. Let's go back to that line. Now, I pulled this line earlier, but I want to pull another copy. I don't want to use just one copy of this line. It's got so much potential.
It's some sort of wave. Please don't be scared of the word.
Yeah, right.
Please don't be scared. Form of radiation. Please don't be scared of the.
It's just so sudden, so abrupt. Like I have no. To be completely honest, I have no idea if this is some kind of online, some kind of class for people, or if this is just, I don't know, cooking for dummies. But he is almost educating people on the most basic things, but he assumes. It's almost like, I don't know, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, but they would know what radiation
Please don't be scared of the word.
Please don't be scared. Oh, another application, like we were talking about a microwave bomb being armed when he hit the buttons, and we can use don't be scared there as well. So let's pull it here, knowing that we're going to use this. Don't be scared of the bear in theory. But he says it very fast. Bear in theory. Let's see. What would it sound like with the initial version that you had for Frumbers on the Nunt? So the way that it sounded initially wasn't all that different, but one of the big things was that N sound in Nunt would have been a lot harder. So by softening it, it flows with the sentence. It makes it sound like it belongs in the second half of a sentence even more. So that's why I made some of those changes. That's why I was trying to move things around, see how they sounded, and get it right. And that's just me. Again, I'm someone who loves to work things until I'm personally satisfied with them. And I'll do this to a fault as much as a degree here. Oftentimes, some edits, I'm just throwing things in and I don't really care if it looks perfect, especially when it comes to some distortions, because I'm not aiming for like a distortion in mind. Sometimes I just want things to be distorted, but sometimes with sentence mixes, I want it to sound the way that it sounds in my head, or at least as close as possible.
Without a direct application of heat. Because this is a unique form of radiation, it doesn't work with everything. Here we have...
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work with...
Oh my God. Oh man. Simple sentence mixing.
It doesn't work with...
This is what I mean by simple sentence mixing. Inspiration hits you like a bag of bricks sometime. This is a microwave. It doesn't work. This is a microwave. It doesn't work. Why did you butcher the pronunciation of my last name, Quintana, as Canada? So I'm a Mets fan. And there is a pitcher on the Mets by the name of Jose Quintana. And the broadcasters pronounce it Quintana. So if I'm saying your name wrong, that's only because it's spelled the same as the ball player, and I've taken to saying it exactly as the announcer said. So if I'm saying it wrong, it's not intentional. All right. Don't be scared of the Baron theory. Let me just look at that for a second. Let me in mind the Baron theory.
Hi, I'm Chef Jonathan Locke, and today we are talking about microwaves. This is a fairly typical example of a microwave. This is a fairly...
Yeah, there we go. This is a microwave. It doesn't work. Somehow, again, simple sentence mixes. Simple sentence mixes that make it sound like it's natural are usually the best jokes. Okay, let's get this extended so we get the whole line.
This is a fairly typical...
Now,
let's
get this isolated from the F as much as possible so that we get a microwave after the A.
Fairly typical example of a microwave. Microwave.
Maybe the A.
Of a microwave.
Let's see. A little bit of that A sound as well. Let's see. What's up, guys? I'm back. Welcome back, Mini Color Journal.
Microwave,
what is going down? He opens the door and then put the "it doesn't work." Ooh, the opening of the door. That's a good opportunity there. Maybe he tugs on the door, can't get it open. Maybe. Let's see. Let's focus on the audio mix first.
This is a microwave. This is a microwave. If you... This is a... This is a microwave. If you... Microwave. If... This is a microwave. This is a microwave. This is a microwave.
I wonder if there's another example, like, So he ends the sentence with microwave, but because it is a relatively long sentence, the breath that he's using to start the sentence makes that part of the sentence stronger. So that's why it's louder at this part than it is at this part. So if he says microwave again, I gotta find another example of the word microwave where it's on that same level of emphasis.
Example of a microwave.
Now, I'm sure he says microwave a ton in this video. It's got to come. Have him boil some foil, add foil to microwave. Now it works. I'm going to microwave a microwave. Yeah, Grimfang, I thought of that sentence mix. It's a great sentence mix. I'm going to microwave a microwave. In fact, even have him being layers of microwaves inside. That's another good idea.
If you look at it, it's got numbers on the front. You use those to program both power and time. Middle. Now, the way that microwaves
Yeah.
Microwaves.
Here we go. This is good. This is a good version of microwave. It's a little bit louder in the front, so I think that it'll work really, really well.
Pan.
And the pan I put over there for a reason, because maybe if he uses a cap, I can maybe have him say capped pan.
When you put in a cup of water for a cup of tea, which is a very, very common thing.
Oh yeah, that's another one. When you put in a cup of water for a cup of tea, that's a very, very cup of thing to do.
This is a microwaves.
Now he's using the plural form of microwaves. We can very easily edit that out because we have so many instances of him using the word microwave.
This is a microwaves.
Let's see.
This is a microwave.
Man, he's bleeding those
This
words.
is a microwave. This is a microwave.
I wonder if
a microwave. A microwave.
if I soften this, maybe that'll help.
This is a...
Let's see. You know, sometimes I think of things and then I have to change my mind on them midway. That's all right. It does a microwave. Can you upload the Beyblade YouTube poop you made streaming? It's not done yet. Actually, that's one thing I did want to talk about on the stream. So the Beyblade YouTube poop, I want to make that a nice longer YouTube poop. I've added a whole bunch more jokes to it, especially related to the bummer and the kid's voice. And in addition to that, like, we didn't see the rest of that episode, but there are tons of opportunities strewn throughout. There is a scene where the kid, the main character, or rather, the kid who follows the hero of the show, uses the word wow, and he uses it so often. It's so manipulative. There are so many things in that episode that I want to manipulate. So many things. I would love to upload what I've done in every stream as is, but I would never be satisfied with it. I want what I make and finish. I want to be satisfied with it. That's just me. Michael Waves. Ooh, man. Michael. Oh boy. Michael Waves. Can I get a splice for Michael Waves? Like Michael from The Office would be the first thing that comes to mind. This is a microwave. In it, Michael Waves. It's such a simple sentence mix. It's a perfect sentence mix.
This is a microwave. This is a microwave.
Man, let me write that down. Michael Waves.
This is a microwave.
Yeah, I think that sounds a heck of a lot better now that I've softened the audio. And I can get rid of this. I don't think I need that now.
It doesn't work. Microwave. It doesn't. Microwave. Microwave. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
This is a microwave. It doesn't work. That spacing is good. Now, as far as the video editing portion of this clip, again, going back to the tugging on the door handle, just let's see if we can get something good here.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. Chef Jonathan Locke. Come on, complete the. Yeah, here we go. Let's go back to where he is. Okay, right there. And come on. Is he completely out of frame on this one? So this is a transitional frame. I want this. You can faintly see his body here. If I want him to be tugging on this microwave door and not able to get it open, I want that fade out to be removed completely. If I position, it's still there. I think we've got it most of the way out to the point where it's not noticeable. So now we need to get. Yeah, I mean, there's still some. Oh yeah, that you still have just the facts in the bottom right here. I don't think that's going to be problematic. Let's see what we get. So right here is where the door opens. Can I get a solid looking edit from this? Can we get him to fail to open the microwave door? It's a simple forward reverse on loop, but is that transition going to hurt us here? That's the big question. Actually, let's move these down here so that he starts doing it a little further down. Now, how does this look here?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay, so the just the facts is still present, but I think there's an easy solution to that. We just use a little bit of splicing, but otherwise that's a great looking edit right there. He's tugging on the door. He can't get it open. I like this. Oh man. My British soul dies a little bit whenever somebody talks about microwaving tea, which he does go into in this video. And one thing I'll say is that he is very detailed about every process of the microwave. Very detailed. A 16-minute video about microwaves. Man. YouTube hoops are the only content on YouTube I will watch. So I was actually thinking about, I watch a lot of YouTube poops, but that content that I typically watch, and I hate that word content. I prefer videos or just videos. The type of videos that I will watch on YouTube, they'll come from people who don't make things every day, maybe a lot more infrequently. But YouTube poop's definitely one of them. Oh man. What happens to the King uses chat AI YouTube poop? That's almost done. It's just a matter of some tweaks, finishing touches that are actually quite simple. Maybe you show a picture of a movie or show you dislike, and have them say it doesn't work. That's one thought. It doesn't work. Oh, wait. There is... So, back in 2006, there was a viral video that was made by someone named Pissed Off Angry Gamer, and it was obvious... I think it was 2007. Either way, it was him doing a review of what he called the Nintendo Shit Cube, and there is some potential in there where he actually does say it doesn't even work. There is a possibility to use that as well. I can imagine Todd Howard faintly saying it just works in the background after it doesn't work. Man, Todd Howard, that's another good one. Delio, the captain is handsome. Thank you, Delo Yellow. You're not content with the word content. Yes, absolutely right. I am not content with the word content. I feel like it's a completely cynical word used to describe what other people put their heart and soul into. Lumping everything into the word content, I can't accept that. Chad Warden doesn't even work. All right, let's see. Going back to this, what I was going to do here.
It doesn't.
Oh man, but we've still got.
It doesn't.
Oh, but the bottom here. Okay. All right, so it's not just this logo. The bottom half has a transition that we need to kind of get rid of. So here's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to try and get a still frame of this. Still frame. But before I try and go for that still frame, if I put it on full, will this work? I think it will. Yeah. When I switch it from preview to best, it shows me if it's going to have any bleeding effects, which I do not want in any of my frames. Now, the source material is 60 frames per second. So I think it works really well here. And I don't think we're going to get much bleeding, if any bleeding here. Now let's go through the motions and get a mask done. And this is a very simple mask. I don't have to do any anchors, just a simple just a simple square. What I also want to do, though, is make it feather, because otherwise it's going to look very rough when I am positioning this over the clips of him. So let's see what we get. Right. Oh, before this, I have to put this back into. Oh, it's already there. Okay. So here. I'll extend this. Let's see how it looks.
It doesn't.
That's the tricky part about these streams, is that the buffering that the video does while in the timeline takes a little bit longer. But this looks all right. Okay. This part of his sleeve is not moving, but it's not harming anything. You still have part of the transition that is coming through here and on the sides. So it wouldn't hurt to extend. Whoops. It wouldn't hurt to expand this a little bit more so I capture the sides and top. I'm just going to add some anchors. And this is not going to harm anything as far as the. Well, actually, let's add it here. Just a little bit more. There we go. Add a few more, because we're going to be manipulating this shape a little bit. There we go. Pull it all the way up here. And then let's add another anchor point. And then pull this anchor right over here. Takes a minute just to make this tiny little edit. There we go. Perfecto. Now let's see how this looks. It shouldn't. Yeah, there we go. So you still have some parts of that transition, that fade in almost, that are present, but they're hardly noticeable now. You have to really be looking for them to see them. And I'm seeing them, but it's not that bad. So you have something that looks like this. He's tugging on that microwave door, and it just don't work. Whew. Man. Sorry if you've answered this question already, but what's the artwork over behind your left shoulder hanging on the wall? All this is it's a curtain, actually. So my wife is Indian. So this is really hard to see. I'll see if I can twist it a little bit. It's going to be really tricky. I'll have to make do with what I've got. But this is Ganesh. He's a deity. And we actually have a lot of Ganesh around our condo in the form not just of this curtain, but also some marble, also some woodwork, and when we go to temples, it could be Hindu temples in general or something like that. That's the figure that we will often pay the strongest amount of attention to. So that's what's on there. If you Google Ganesh, Ganesh or Ganeshi, you'll see the figurine. And by the way, do you know Chad Warden? Damn right I know Chad Warden. I was there in 2007. Sup, beachies? This is Chad Warden now. Alright? I'm here to talk about that PS triple. The PS triple. I ain't talking about that Wii. Shit. I love those videos. I guess love really makes a guy come. Oh yeah. You betcha. Also an idea, I don't know if you're a Megadeth fan, but you could also add it after it doesn't work for UC, the steel is much too strong. So I only know Megadeth by name. I know that they are a metal band, but I have not listened to a full song of theirs. So I'm open to all forms of music, but I don't typically listen actively to all forms. Metal is one of those genres that I don't always listen to. Now that being said, I'm not going to despise it. There are actually some metal songs I like. My favorite being Hard Rock Hallelujah by Lordi. But Megadeth is I'm not too familiar, but I will see if there is some kind of application there. Could match up with some of the Futurama episodes where they used microwaves to time travel. That's true. I have to rewatch that episode. I think I've only seen it a few times, or at least snippets of it. I'll just put this off to the side. Futurama. Looks like he's doing the deed with the microwave. Damn right. Yeah. Probs would need a different edit for the Megadeth joke, though. Ideas for If I Try My... Yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing is that the things made these edits downloadable for everybody, and like I said, if you don't have an easy way of downloading them from her Twitter post, she put the files for the video that you can then put into your video editor of choice. She put those files in the description of her last Lonathan video. So have at it if you so desire. Oh man, when his motions go back and forth. Yeah, there could be a joke from that. Hey, what's going on, Cyber Cults? Welcome to the stream. May Brahman do good things and all that. Thank you very much, Josuke. Jay Janendra. Or one member of my family says Jay Setitanand. Yes. I tried Bumble and I have to pay $19 to use. Bumble, the dating app? Wouldn't know. Also, I was Ethan Ferris. Oh, on the April. Okay. So that's who Ethan Ferris was. Thank you so much. Honestly, Megadeth is a great band with a surprising amount of untapped meme potential. I could be wrong. I mean, I know that I'm a person and people who made videos in the same vein as I'm a person used a lot of metal in their YouTube hoops. I don't know if Megadeth was one of them. I didn't really think about what those songs were that when he put them in to those videos. What is my favorite Disney movie? Beauty and the Beast.
Fairly typical example of a microwave. If you look at it, it's got numbers on the front.
Oh yeah, we've done this time and time again. Okay, but let's go back here real quick. It doesn't even work. Maybe what we can do is we can add, let's see.
Easy, and you can put them almost anywhere. So, a good tool, one that's easy to learn how to use, and one that is safe if used correctly. Thanks.
I was hoping that there would be some credits here. And adding the credits to the end. Oh, wait. This is kind of credits. Yeah, sort of. Alright. Or better yet, the Star Wars outro. Okay. Megadeth was largely a James Death. Yes, Megadeth was used by James Death a lot. I thought my favorite Disney movie was Finding Nemo. So, I like Finding Nemo a lot. The reason I like Beauty and the Beast, though, is because I feel like out of all of the Disney canon, like all the Disney films, it's the most mature and it takes its audience the most seriously. Not to say that it's a serious movie, but I think that when it comes to any type of film, regardless of whether or not you are intending it for kids and adults, you always want to take your audience seriously. Put a lot of emphasis on the characters. I think that Beauty and the Beast has some wonderful, wonderful characters. Finding Nemo does too, for that matter. And I love a lot of those lines from the movie.
When you are using this critter, there are...
Oh yeah, this is another thing line he says.
You are using this critter.
I have no idea why he classifies the microwave as a critter.
Using this critter. This critter.
Critter, my gosh. I've only ever heard one other person use the word critter in that context, and that's Alton Brown. Oddly enough, another food personality. But there could be a critter inside the microwave. Actually, let me put this down with the other things right here. Maybe make parts of the video G majored without sound change for a twist. So the thing about G major is that it's such a very hard distortion. It is a really hard distortion. I don't typically think appeals to a lot of people, especially if they're using headphones. The last thing I want is for them, because a lot of people are watching videos more and more with headphones now, not using computer speakers. So that makes a world of difference when it comes to those bursts of audio. I'm a person who used a lot of System of a Down. Okay. I know System of a Down. Chop Suey. I remember seeing the music video for that on MTV. Rank Toy Story movies. Okay. Let's see. I'll have to give that some thought. I'll give that some thought while I'm going through these.
Have a property called superheating.
Oh, wait. Let's go back here.
There are certain things to remember. It does have a...
Oh.
There are certain things to remember.
Oh. There are certain things to remember. I don't remember what they are. That's going to take some effort. That's going to take some effort.
There are certain things to remember.
If we have a long pause with that as well, it makes it such a more... it just hits harder there. That's great. There are certain things to remember. I don't remember what they are. Let me just... Certain things to remember. I don't remember what they are. Okay. Whew. I felt Hunchback was most mature and it took his audience seriously. Everything with the exception of the gargoyles. I agree completely. Beauty and the Beast obviously has talking characters, but not in the same vein as the gargoyles, which I think spoil the tone of the film. The Beauty and the Beast, the tone is a lot more consistent, and even though there are lots of scary moments, overall, I don't think that they clash with the film in such a stark way that the Gargoyles did. Toy Story movies, by the way. I'm going to say best one, second Toy Story. Second best one, I'm going to say Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4. Then Toy Story 3, and then the original Toy Story. So 2, 4, 3, 1. That's my order. Best to least best. Because I don't think there's a bad Toy Story movie. Oh, man. Asshole foods. Yeah, that's another good idea. Let's see. Using this twit. That's another one. Make it a giant critter. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. He opens up. He's looking in the microwave. There's a critter in there, and then it just grows uncontrollably. But what kind of critter? Man, I'm thinking about something like an eight-legged freak kind of critter. If Eight-Legged Freaks, for context, is a spider film from a giant spider movie from the 2000s. But it's going to be really, really tricky to pull something like that off because you'd have to completely cut out the spider's legs. Or something that's just a little more abstract. Calling Alton Brown Alton Bolton from here on. Did I call him Alton? I thought I called him Alton Brown. Whatever. He must be from the Flintstones. Yes. I make the coloring G majored, but not the sound. Oh, I see what you mean. I think we've actually, when I think G major, the effect that I think about is, let's see, let me go right back to it, is the threshold effect. This is typically what I think about. I don't really see all that many, color effects with G major, with the exception of a classic inversion. But inversion tends to go with, in a lot of old YouTube poops, you would see inversion with loud volume spikes anyway. But I have used some of those color effects here, the G major effects. Remember the 5th of November? Yeah, yep. If there's an opportunity to use that, I'll see if I can use that. All right. There are 10 things to remember. Things. Oh my God. Things. You know what? There are 10 things to remember. We can reference the things. That is a perfect lead-in to reference the things. So, certain things to remember. And again, we can use that line. And there are certain things to remember. I don't remember. And then there are certain things. There are 10 things to remember. The things 1, the things 2, the things 3. If he does say the numbers, of course, which I'm hoping he does. So let me just put a little note there. The things. 1, 2, 3. Ellipses. Man, this is just a gold mine. I can't believe what the things found here. My Toy Story order is 3, 1, 2, 4. 3 is a really popular one, and I like it, but I feel like a lot of the same themes were pulled from Toy Story 2, and I thought they were more effective in Toy Story 2.
It does have a lot of built-in safety features simply because of the mechanics of the way that it cooks. You're not going to be splattered the way that you are with stovetop things. You're not going to burn yourself on.
You're not going to be splattered.
On a hot pan. Because
there's the capped pan line. Like I said, he says pan. If there's a C-A-P word, or even just a C-A word, a hard K sound, there's a good lead-in, especially if there's a soft A sound there. What is my favorite number? 6? All right, I'm going to leave. Well, it's good to see you, Franco Lopez. Thanks for being on. All the small things, yeah.
Because you're not putting a pan in there. However, microwaves, when you put in a cup of water for a cup of tea, which is a very...
Oh, yeah, that's right, the cuppa joke. The cuppa joke. You're not gonna be splurred. Splurred. Okay, this is fresh on the minds, the cuppa thing.
When you put in a cup of water for a cup of tea, which is a very, very, very common thing to do.
He says common things to do. This is a perfect lead into cuppa thing to do.
Which is a very,
I'm actually going to remove one of the varies. I think it sounds better with just one of them.
a very, 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 very,
Oh, whoops.
which is a very, very,
Very, very.
very, very, very,
Still using the end.
very, very, which is a very thing to do.
Yes, there we go.
When you put in a cup of water for a cup of tea, which is a very cup of water for a cup of tea, which is a very
And I'm going to use this instance of cuppa. It's softer. It goes well
for a cup of
for a cup of tea.
for a cup of tea, for a cup of tea, for a cup of tea,
Cuppa.
for a cup of
Very cuppa thing to do.
tea, which is a very cup of thing to do.
Cuppa thing to do. It's very soft. It's very subtle. I wonder if there's some.
Which is a very cup of thing to do. Cup of thing to do.
Or maybe the th needs to be emphasized. Let's see.
Cup of thing to do.
Yeah. Let's see how it sounds.
When you put in a cup of water for a cup of tea, which is a very cup of thing to do.
Yeah, that is such a subtle sentence mix. Man. That's one of those where if you heard it, you would think that he initially said it in the source. I'm back. Welcome back, Franco. Which Ace Attorney is your favorite or song? So I don't know the names of the songs in full. No, I don't know the names of the songs rather, but I love the suspenseful songs when they're doing investigating and they find something out. Oh, shit's about to go down. Like I'm butchering that, but still.
It does have a lot of built-in safety features simply because of the mechanics of the way that it cooks. You're not going to be splattered the way that you are with stovetop things. You're not going to burn yourself on a hot pan because you're not putting a pan in there. However, microwaves, when you put in a cup of water for a cup of tea, which is a very, very common thing to do,
what does the rest of the sentence sounds like here?
have a property called superheating.
Super cuppa. Oh.
Have a property called superheat.
Super cuppa. Now, I just wonder what that font is that he's using. It looks like a font that I can easily find and manipulate. In fact, a lot of this video, like the graphics that he uses in this video,
In a cup of water for
they all look like they can be easily mimicked, easily replicated. I know the Things finds everything really easily. It's just a matter of what it all is. What's that font? The color, no problem. We just used an eyedropper tool. Why did I type this? I don't know. Why did you type this? Hello, Kenny. Cup of Feel. Oh, Cup of Feel, man. Cup of Feel, Juske, you're on a roll. Oh, man. I gotta look for the word feel. Look for the word feel. My gosh, that is such a perfect thing to add to that. Cup of pea, if there's possibility there. Or he can cup a lots of spaghetti. You're not putting your hand in the pan. Oh, man. Put your hand in the pan, man. That last the Things YouTube poop with the hand and finger jokes. Oh man, there were so many great jokes that she made. Yeah. Oh man, cup of feel. I gotta look for feel. If there's the word feel, I'm sure that there is something that can be used there. He's gotta have the word feel.
heating, which
Oh yeah, that's right. I pulled superheating for a reason. Whoops.
have a property called superheat. called super
Super cuppa. It's just a simple basic joke, but still.
for a cup of tea. For a cup of tea. For a cup of tea.
Super cuppa, and we're gonna, let's see.
Have a property called super cup of tea.
Super cuppa.
Called super cup.
Oh, I love the way that sounds.
Called super cup of tea.
Super cuppa.
Called super cup of tea.
The punches on those sounds, it's perfect. Man, super cuppa, but I gotta look for the word feel. I have to keep that in the back of my mind. I've got it in the notes. I did my first side-by-side picture edit 8 days ago. It was of Steven Stone's expressions looking confident versus looking embarrassed when his dad catches him looking at porn magazines. Nice, nice. Cuppa lean, super duper cuppa heating. Man, the cuppa. There's probably more in these forthcoming lines that we can use. Let's listen.
Heating, which can be potentially dangerous. You take a cup of water.
Cup of water. Oh my God.
You stick it in your microwave.
Oh my gosh. I don't know why this is so internally funny to me.
A cup of water.
Suck it up, buttercup. Suck up, super cuppa. Sup a cup of man.
You stick it in your microwave. And you program it for too long.
Oh man. Program it for too long. Oh my gosh. That writes itself. That writes itself.
I won't do that, but say you program it.
Oh, I won't do that. Oh my God.
Program it for too long. I won't do that, but
I won't do that.
I won't do that. But
Oh man. Dissecting this is so much fun. Okay.
microwave.
I won't do that. Man. Remix water noise and you've got a friend in me. Yeah. You kick it in your microwave. Ooh, that's another good one.
When you put in a cup of water for a cup of tea, which is a very cup of thing to do, have a property called super cup of tea.
Yeah, let's extend, like, there are so many ways that we can extend that, like let me just look back. Super duper cup of heating, suck up super cuppa, suck it up buttercup. There are so many ways that we can extend that word even more. Just completely nonsensical.
It's got numbers on the front. You use the
Numbers on the front.
It's got numbers on the front. You use those.
Man, the I won't do that is something that we can pull into our video. Man, the water faucet sounds for urinating sounds or just fire hose sounds even. Man, you kick it in the microwave.
Common thing to do.
Oh man, the way he's looking at this cup. How long does he look at this for?
Have a
Oh man, that expression right there, that is such a solid expression to use. Man. Man, oh man, oh man. I'm going to slow this down so that that way there's more time to appreciate that expression. Like, he's just looking at it. Oh man, okay, if he hasn't closed his mouth there, like, to the part just before he starts closing his mouth. In fact, we can reverse this to extend it as well. Man, I'm listening to you, by the way. The microwave, like sticking the water in the microwave, like everything there, we're going to return to in just a sec. I won't do the microwave, showing him pumping the microwave. Sticks hand in the microwave, you kick the microwave. Have I used Dolly a few times? Yeah. I don't, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm still waiting for an AI tool that's quicker than Dolly. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Yeah, that's another one. Water faucet audio for urinating sounds. It's another one. The tinkle in the toilet. There's a character in Dragon Ball called Oolong, short pig man. You could use the too long clip, cut out the T and have Oolong flash on the screen. Ooh, man. Dragon Ball. I mean, Oolong is... Let's see. It's funny, I'm more familiar with Dragon Ball Z than I am of Dragon Ball. So, mirror him from that side. Yeah, oh man. Let's just see what it looks like. The transition from this forwarded clip to the reversed clip. In fact, we'll even reverse the reversal at some points. Make it look a little more natural. Let's see. Again, the video's just got buffer in the timeline. And it always takes a second to some extra time to buffer a reversed clip here. All right. Yeah. Reverse, and then kind of go back. Man. So he's holding two cups. Yep. And let's see what it looks like mirrored. So mirrored from the left side. Let's go to the mirror effect and pop it on in. Reflect on the left. Okay. See what can be made from that. I'll just keep that here for now. He is holding two cups. The one thing that I wish wasn't the case was that these two cups weren't so close together. What I might just do, though, is use the effect here to just move this a little further away. A little further away. There we go. So now he's affectionately looking at that cup in a more adoring way. There's no other way to describe it. He's adoring that cup.
You stick it in your microwave. You stick it in your mic.
All right, let's go to the audio, the water running.
A cup of water.
So the tinkling sound effect, that's easy to pull. It's actually really remarkably funny how few clips that we, like, from outside that we have to use in this. Oops. I'll have to come back to that and see what I can do. I think I accidentally... Okay. Tinkling sound effect. Tinkling sound effect. Wait. Why is there these wind chimes? Okay, tinkle sound effect. No, that's not the tinkle. Okay, so that's why there are wind chimes there, because it's assuming wind chimes. And also there is a Legend of Zelda character named Tinkle, so... I can't... You just know that somebody put their microphone down to the toilet to capture this sound effect. Pinging sound for 2 hours? I don't need 2 hours. No, I don't need 2 hours. It's not quite loud enough, and it's almost like it's hitting the side. Oh my gosh. Okay. Human sounds, man peeing in the toilet with a fart sound. Yeah, no thank you. We don't need that. Okay. Pee sound effect.
We could save if we switch our insurance to NJM.
I'm sure you can. That's more like it. That's more like it. Okay, so let's copy this 4K video downloader. And let's pop it in. And I just need the small 240p version.
My sweetie. Hey, Mom. I already.
Yeah, no more NJM. I don't care. Okay, now the P sound effect. Let's put this to work. You stick it in the cup. Ooh, yeah, like, oh man, messing with dimensions. I like that. Okay, let's get this sound effect taken care of first.
which can be potentially dangerous.
This cup can be potentially dangerous. That's another one. Oh my god. We don't even need the voice clip here. Actually, I'm wondering if we can have a long version of this. Like, it's just taking a long ass time for him to stop the sound effect. Maybe, I don't know. I'm a huge Austin Powers fan, and when I think of a P joke, I think of the first film where Austin Powers was, I guess, unfrozen, and he had to go, and there's that long scene where he's urinating because, all right, so, and then there's like a clip where while that's going on, he's looking at his watch, waiting for it to stop. It's a good reference right there. Man, big fan of Austin Powers. Those movies are absolutely timeless. So here we go. P sound effect. It's not, it's interesting. The P sound effect doesn't really sound. Okay, let's just put it in. Okay. It almost sounds like, it still sounds like it's running water. I guess that's to be expected. I mean, some sinks can produce small streams. Let's keep it. You stick it in your cup after admiring the cup. For 2 hours, yeah, yeah, who needs a clip of someone peeing for 2 hours? Okay.
Can be potentially dangerous.
Man.
Which can be potentially dangerous. You take a cup of water. You stick it in your microwave. You stick it in your microwave. You stick it in your microwave.
Man. That stick it in the microwave clip is going to be really, really exploited pretty soon. Maybe open microwave could be replaced with a sideways DS. The only thing about that is that a DS is longer than it. Well, actually, no. Would it work? It's funny. I had my 3DS in my vicinity, but don't know exactly where it is right now. But a microwave is going to be wider than it is long. A DS is almost going to be longer than it is wide, and that's based on the hinge. So making that effect work, it would need to be a really tall microwave, or just two microwaves stacked on top of each other. Don't want to go through that trouble there. All right, let's see.
I won't do that.
I will never get old. Make it narrowed. I mean, that's a possibility. I'm not gonna fuss with that if I see a way that I can make it work. Like, I don't want to narrow it because then it's, I don't know, it doesn't agree with me.
You stick it in your.
Okay, let's go back here.
You stick it in your microwave.
I think there was a sound effect, almost like a. I like the, that's a perfect opportunity to stutter. Let's see. If the let's see the stutter. No, I need more. I need more. I need it to sound like the stutters are closer to each other. Let's see if I can get a good stutter effect. You know, I like it sometimes, that stutter effect, when it just sounds right. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's the stutter effect that I want. Okay, so audio from FLCL, or Haruko says, stick it in. He responds with, I won't do that. FLC. Hang on one second. FLCL, Haruko. I wonder if this is on YouTube. Stick it in. I guess not. Maybe if it's isolated, I'll pull it. I don't want to peruse each episode to find it, especially since it looks like it's going to be tricky to find a clip of it. All right. Make putting it in noise like Zelda Get It theme if you want. Almost like that sound where he's taking something out of the chest, or the rupee pickup sound. I think that rupee pickup sound might be a little bit easier. Yeah. But what I do want to do is I want to, and I do this a lot, do a reversal after the stutter. Just a small reversal here, and then I'm going to start the sentence mixing. You are going to be hearing.
You stick it in your. You stick it in your.
All right. Actually, let's see. What are some good sentence mixes? You stick it in the microwave. Least favorite Ace Attorney case. I don't know. I haven't played all of them yet. I'm still working through the third in the trilogy. Episode 4, Full Swing. Okay. But I'd have to peruse that episode to get it. I'll have to take a listen once that's done. All right, let's see.
You stick it in your. You stick it in your.
Okay. You stick it in your cup.
You stick it in
Or better yet, let's see if I can get
your microwave.
No. Man. I really wish that his sentences started and ended on that same volume level. That would be perfect if that was the case. What's the next
Let's say
line?
you program it for.
And what comes before that?
And you program it for. You take a cup of water. A cup of water.
A cup of water. A cup of water. Okay. You stick it in your cup of water.
You stick it in.
You stick it in a cup of water.
You stick it in a cup of.
I need that end sound, and I need that cup of water, or a cup of water, to start sooner. So let's do that.
You stick it in a cup.
Yeah, there we go. Let's see how it sounds together.
Stick it in a cup of water.
Almost there. They just need to be blended a little bit more. And then we could do, you stick it in a cup of cups.
You stick it in a cup of water.
Let's remove that bleeding.
Stick it in a cup of water.
I feel like maybe if it were on a different level, that would make a difference. And soften this.
In a cup of water. Stick it in a cup.
Okay, let's soften the start to a cup of water, so it's.
In a cup of water.
Then have that start.
Stick it in a cup of water. In a cup of water.
That might be the best we're going to get there. Okay, you stick it in a cup of water. Where are you in the trials and tribulations? I have just started that French restaurant case. That's where I am. Like the second case, by the way, with the urn, the sacred urn, I loved. One thing I love about the Ace Attorney games is that the breakdowns are so rewarding. And the breakdowns in that case, the particular breakdown from that one character that I'm not going to spoil, is wonderful. It's so rewarding every time it happens. You wave a stick, shows stick waving on screen. You stick phone in a cup of water. Oh, that's a good one. You stick a phone in a cup of water and it just short circuits. That's a great idea, Mini Color Journal. Ethan, I don't know what to call you. I'm just going to say whatever your username is when I see it on the screen. So now we just need to, so I'm going to put phone down. So we've got two words that we need to find. There's feel and there's phone. And I'm sure that if we start listening to the rest of this, we'll get something there. Now, the phone word, that's going to be a little trickier, the word phone, because this is obviously a cooking program, but there must be an FO sound or a PHO sound that can be used or manipulated to sound like phone. So FO, phone, especially if it leads into an N. Phone. Okay, so we'll just have to listen, have active ears. This is just something that we're going to have to use trial and error for. Every time he goes to use the microwave, loop back to the it doesn't work bit. Yes. That's a good one. Nice one, Grimfang. All right. Every time, like, I'm going to use it in the most recent edit.
It doesn't work.
I wonder if there's some kind of exasperated sigh curse that we can use. Recipe for Turnabout is least favorite of the first 4 cases, but it still has its fun parts. Yeah, I'm sure it does. I mean, I'll say this, there almost is always like this fresh hook with every case. Something that draws you in.
Let's say you program it for
I stopped it there because I was trying to think if the word for can be manipulated into phone. No. If the phone sound, that O sound in phone is a really long O. It's about as like as long as you can get. So no, that's not going to work.
60 seconds. If you superheat this, what happens is that it doesn't boil.
Oh wait, what happened? Oh,
Is that it?
the way that he says this.
What happens?
Oh man, oh man. Okay, we have got to start on that bomb, the microwave bomb joke, because that is primed for what happened.
What happens?
Like, it explodes and he just says, what happens? All right, and he's arming the microwave here. Let's make some more room for this. Let's make some more room. So, let's get a good explosion added on, and we're going to, let's see. Let's see here. Let's arm the microwave. Let's get to the part where he's entering the numbers.
If you superheat 60 seconds. If you
Come on. Okay.
say
Or maybe he pushes a button on the microwave and it explodes. That also works.
you program it for 60.
Okay. Or actually, no. This window right here, the window on the microwave that shows the time, it's primed for some kind of edit. Can't pass up this opportunity.
For 60 seconds.
Now, we're going to have the explosion added. I'll have to do this after the fact, so we get something here. Then, let's see. Aggressive Old Man is cool. I don't like Maggie. I mean, I don't know all. Keep in mind, I only just started the case. I don't want to be spoiled as to what happens. I don't want to know the characters, okay? So definitely leave as much information out as possible, even your opinions on which case is the best. Turnabout Beginnings is a great case, but I won't spoil it. Okay, great. Yeah, definitely don't spoil it for me. Do not.
With everything. Here we have an array of things that can and can't go into microwaves to use as a cooking container. Yes, no, yes.
Oh, we were talking about this earlier on the stream. Yes, no, yes, no.
An array of things that can and can't go into microwaves to use as a cooking container. Yes, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Let's do this.
Yes.
So we're gonna make the. Let's see. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Maybe. For 66 seconds. Yeah. 666 seconds. That's a good one. 666 seconds. Let me write that down. Okay. Can also use Steins Gate for their microwave scenes. Oh man, there's an anime that I haven't heard in a long time. Reverse No could be part of phone. Ooh. Well, the long O sound in No already might work. How does it sound reversed? Let's find out, shall we? What does the No sound from Jonathan Lonathan sound like when it's reversed? Nope, not going to work. The thing about reversing any form of audio, if you're expecting there to be any kind of predictability with the vowel sounds, there just isn't going to be. I don't know if you've seen the show Twin Peaks, but in one of the earlier episodes, there's a dream sequence. In that sequence, the characters are speaking. They're saying words, but they're pronouncing. What they've done is, during that entire scene, they had the characters say the words backwards. So, to use an example, no is on. And then David Lynch played it forward. And even though the sounds being made were very similar to what the words were when you have them going in forward time, there was still some very, very clear distinctions. There's just some subtle changes. Even with the consonant sounds, there are some subtle differences. So reversing a clip to try and get a different audio sound isn't always going to yield predictable results. You might get some interesting results, though. I've done this before where I've reversed a clip in order to get a very specific sound that I knew would come out of it. But I've only ever done that I want to say a handful of times because it's tricky. You have so much needs to go right in it, especially if you're trying to get a vowel sound with a consonant sound. But yeah, by the way, Twin Peaks, wonderful show, especially season 1, and I think it's on Netflix, but either way.
Yes, no, 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 yes.
Okay. Every sound is personalized. Yes, yes it is.
Yes. Yes, no, no, yes. Yes, no, yes, no, maybe.
He is undeniably a really good teacher.
Yes. Yes.
Just some simple forwards and reverses will be great here. Yay is a really classic sound effect. I think this is maybe a little smidge too long. Let's find out.
Yes.
Yeah, so it sounds like yay. I want yay. So let's trim it, and see what we get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reversing no one gives you no one. I have seen some YouTube poopers have fun with that. Interesting. I'll have to do that. By the way, Dinner Warrior, what's going down? Good to see you on the stream. So reversing no one gives you no one. I'll have to keep that in mind. Actually, I can see how that is the case. O followed by individually could work. Yeah. Isolating the O in no is one thing that I was thinking about while listening to that no sound. Let me pull the strongest no.
No. Yes, no. No.
Actually, they're all... I think he takes breaths between the yeses and the nos. Yes, no, yes, no. Oh, no, he doesn't. So, it doesn't make sense for him to do that. So let's get that O.
No. No. No.
Actually, phone might not be possible from this O sound because...
No.
If you say the word phone, it's a consistent volume. Consistent volume with the long O sound. Here, though, it's a dying O sound.
No.
And that's usually what you'll get with the word no, because that pitch is decreasing. It's naturally decreasing. When you say yes, you also have some variations with pitch. For phone, I need a long O sound that has no pitch variations. Or volume variations as well. What I can do, though, is mess around with the yes and no. All right. Can't help but think of YTP releases a sandwich on parole.
No one.
Yep, there's the no one that you just mentioned, Dinner Warrior.
No one.
Almost. Probably need to stretch it just a tad.
No one.
Yeah. Or expand it, rather. No one has fun with it like Gaston. Yeah. All right, let's see here. Oh, whoops. No, I want to go back there.
Yeah. No one. No. Yes. Yes.
See if I can get different sounds from this.
Yes.
Oops. Accidentally skimmed my thumb over the trackpad on my laptop. That's all right. Nothing a little undo can't do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one. Yes. No one. Yes.
Okay. I think I'll settle on this pattern right here unless something else pops up.
No. No.
Let's see. Actually, what I'll do.
No.
Just do a simple stutter.
No.
Simple stutter.
No.
Yeah, there we go. So we'll return to this. I need a consistent long O sound. Maybe another character says phone, such as Mario saying phone by feels in how a meatball feels. +1 in It's a Stone Luigi. Ooh. Yeah, oh man. So here's the thing though. Yeah, that's true. I mean, Mario could conceivably say phone from that. It rhymes. It's perfect. The long O sound is great. It's a phone Luigi, yeah. Oh. Did my cat come into frame again?
Is that it doesn't boil. It just sits there at above boiling temperature and you can't really tell.
Ooh, wait. It just sits there. Menacingly. He can describe the microwave, but oh man. That's another word I would have to hunt for, or hunt for another way to use that. Menacingly. It just sits there menacingly.
It just sits there.
Yeah, man. I don't know why
It just sits there.
these inflections that he's using are so easy to manipulate. Let's put this one up. Wait.
Have a property called. This is a microwave. It doesn't work.
Okay, I'm just going to put this right here. That's fair. Just drop it into the timeline wherever.
At above boiling temperature, and you can't really tell. And so when you reach in to get the thing and you agitate it, all of a sudden that agitation can break the surface tension and cause it to splash out. That is one of the few dangers of microwaves. There are some others that we'll talk about in a second. I'm down to 18. I programmed it.
So what I'm going to do, because we've got a little less than 20 minutes left in the stream, I'm going to play this in full. I'm going to keep my ears open for those buzzwords that we really, really want here.
For 60. And it should be, with 700 watts, it should be really hot by now.
Oh, man. And things like that. Really hot. Oh, my God.
It should be, with 700 watts, it should be really hot by.
Oh, my gosh. How is this? This is a miracle. How is this so easy to manipulate?
Really hot by.
Like, even I'm really hot is such a simple sentence mix. I might as well just do that while I have it fresh on the mind. That was another thing I actually spotted. Okay.
It just sits there. This is a microwave.
Okay. So for that, I'm going to have to take this audio clip. I'm going to have to expand it a little bit more. And then I think, like, very beginning where he starts talking.
Hi, I'm Chef Jonathan. Hi, I'm Chef. I'm Chef Jonathan Locke, and today we are talking about microwaves.
I think that's the. I hope that's not the only instance of him using the word "I'm," but.
Hi, I'm Chef.
Yeah, well, let's find out. I mean, he could introduce himself that way, but let's find out. Let's just see.
This is a microwave. It doesn't work. It just sits.
It doesn't work. It just sits there. That's a good.
It just sits there. Work. It just sits there. Hi, I'm really hot.
Hi, I'm really hot.
Hi, I'm.
Get that SH out.
Hi, I'm really hot.
That works. There we go. Reach in to get the things. Chef Beth. Oh, Chef Beth. I'll just write that off to the side. Chef Beth. Chef Beth. Man. These are the good kind of. These are the best kinds of distractions. Reach in to get the things. Did he say that?
Dangers of microwaves. There are some others that we'll talk about in a second. I'm down to 18. I programmed it for 60. And it should be, with 700 watts, it should be by now. So let's take a look at it. Now, I'm going to do this kind of carefully.
Okay.
Because we don't want to end things too early today. And it's steaming, and it's hot, and it's ready, and the whole cup, I can tell from the outside.
Oh, God, he's fondling the cup again.
That is quite hot.
Oh, my God, that is quite hot. Oh, my.
Side is quite hot.
Oh, my God. Just as I say that, he says that.
Side is quite hot. Side is quite hot. Side is quite hot. Side is quite. Side is quite.
That is quite hot.
Side is quite hot.
Man, I can add this to what I did earlier with just the simple admiring of the cup. That is quite hot. Just right here, right here.
Side is quite hot.
Man, he might just say I am some point, which you can blend into I and am. Yeah, I need to sleep. Thanks for the stream. Have a good night. Have a great night, Grimfang. We're almost done with this stream here. At 15 minutes more, give or take. We're gonna He's going to stick it in the hot cup. Yeah. Hope you have a great sleep. Let's see.
So that's one thing to be careful about. It's not a mistake that happens very often, but when it does, it really hurts. Another mistake in microwaves.
Another one. Uh-oh.
I have a little tray of yes and no things here. No. Everybody knows about this, but we'll talk about it again. Because the microwaves do act on the inside.
Find a poorly drawn image of a CDI link on a coffee cup. That's a possibility. A close-up on him when he says that. You know, let me split that. Go right back to the clip. Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, a close-up on that would be really effective. Especially if it lingers for a little bit. See if I can get it to do just that. I want to zoom in on this. Zoom in. I don't want to zoom in too much, too quickly. Let's get him. Let's capture him with that cup. Capture him.
Hot.
So let's see. It ends right about there, but I want to zoom in a little bit further. I don't think this is far enough. Let's zoom in a little bit further, really capture him. Just, and that cup, that's good right here. I think I can pivot this, or pan this rather, to the left a little bit more. Or Photoshop his head onto a model body for the cup. I think that the simpler effect here would. Oh wait, no. I think. Oh, you were talking about the. Oh, I see what you were talking about, Josuke. That's another option. Coffee is golly when replacing the C with a G and both F's with L's. So the C's and the G's, yes, they're a great switch, but the F's and the L's could be a little trickier because typically with an L, you want that L to lead into the right vowel sound. It's one of those legato consonants that you really need to have go into that long E ahead of time to make the word golly. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. Maybe he even uses the word golly in there for all we know. I mean, he's been saying the most unintentionally amazing things.
They will be heating this. Now, they are also going to act on the eggshell, but the eggshell isn't going to do anything. It isn't going to do anything until the insides get so heated up that they, like most liquid things, when heated, start to expand. Normal physical property. Well, the eggshell can't expand. It's not flexible. It's not built for that. And so what it will do after a few seconds in a powerful microwave or longer in a less powerful microwave is it will blow up all over the place.
My God. My God.
Up all after a few seconds in a is it will blow up.
It will. This is like the worst. Like if you're in the middle of a war zone and he's just describing how things blow up. This is the worst.
All over the place.
This is the worst tone to take. The eggshell just sits there. That's another thing that can have him blow up. I could have him blow up. I'm going to have the microwave blowing up. But let's see. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, him blowing up could be a slow motion blow up. That's a good one. Slow motion. A slow motion blow up. The way that he says it.
And although this may seem like a spectacular and desirable effect to watch, cleaning it is a nightmare. Potatoes are another thing. If you don't release the pressure in the potato, you've all heard that you can bake a potato in a microwave, and you can indeed. But if you leave the skin intact, the pressure on the inside, because potatoes are very wet, will build up and it will blow little holes through it, and it will make it look really awful. So you simply pierce them with a fork all over the place.
Make the egg Humpty Dumpty. Are you thinking about Humpty Dumpty from the first Puss in Boots? That's totally doable.
To release some of the pressure. And if you look at the directions,
I know you don't like him in PIB, so have him blow up. Oh, yeah. That's... man. I could.
on something like this is broccoli, and it comes packaged in a neat little container.
Oh man. Oh wait. This is broccoli.
Container and the neat.
Luna, welcome back.
Neat little.
Yeah, we're gonna be ending the stream little less than 10 minutes. It is. We're just going through. We're looking for some last-minute gold, so to say. Are you going to be posting this soon? So what I like to do is I'm going to be working on this. If not on the next stream, then I'll be working on this in the background. In fact, this is such a fun source to stream that I almost want to save this and maybe just continue to listen to it in the background while doing some other things and pick up some things and work on the other days. But yeah, I think I'll make next week's stream part 2 of this. That sounds like a splendid idea.
Container is itself microwavable, and they will tell you the broccoli, of course, has been cut and it's been partially cooked and frozen with a little bit.
Wait, hold the phone. Frozen. Could that work as phone? Let's see. Let's listen.
And frozen with.
Frozen. Let's see. Can we get a solid phone here? Even if the FR is not possible, it turns into just an F. Maybe we could just borrow another F from elsewhere, put it in, and there's an N sound in frozen because it ends in an N. Let's find out what we get.
Frozen with.
Let's see if we can end the stream on that high note. So, even Humpty Dumpty is more interesting than King Charming. Oh yeah, gosh darn, King Charming just doesn't. I don't think they reference Shrek 3 in any capacity in any of the other movies, or any movie for that matter. I think I think the only reason that Shrek 3, I think that the way. Part of the reason that it went that way is because Justin Timberlake, I think, wanted a vehicle to enter like this kid-friendly atmosphere because he was King Charming or Prince Charming. No. Well, I'm mixing up my characters. No, Justin Timberlake was Arthur. Shoot, darn. But I do think that they wanted Justin Timberlake to be a vehicle in this movie, in some way. And yeah, they don't reference Prince Charming ever again.
Frozen.
Probably for the best. Okay, let's see if we can get phone.
Frozen.
Okay.
Frozen.
Okay, we want that O. Can we get that O out?
Frozen.
Can we get phone? Okay, let's see if we can get own.
Frozen.
Oof, that's rough.
Frozen.
What if I soften? Well, if I soften, does it change?
Frozen.
No.
Frozen.
Let's see if I can listen to the isolated O sound. Maybe I can salvage this O sound here. Yeah. It's just that R is bleeding. Maybe. Okay. Maybe the N sound doesn't work, but maybe something else. There's no F in elsewhere. Yeah. Oh, humdinger you. Oh, man. What's your least favorite DreamWorks movie? Least favorite DreamWorks movie. Actually, no. By the way, I don't know if you can hear. My wife is over there, and she just said Shrek 4. That's her least favorites. My least favorite is Shark Tale, because it is because the characters are terrible. You can't root for them. And well, I mean, I guess Jack Black. I mean, Jack Black tries to be entertaining, at least. But the Will Smith fish character is such an unlikable character. You can't root for him. So Shark Tale.
A little bit of water on it, and they will tell you on it, please pierce it with a fork in several places.
Man.
Before you stick it in the microwave. And that, once again, is to release the pressure.
No, I would never say Ants. I mean, Ants is all right. I've never seen B movie, so. By the way, Luna says hi. My wife says hi, Luna.
If you're
Right. I can't. By the way, I cannot hate Shrek 3 because my wife likes Shrek 3.
cooking raw broccoli, it goes exactly the same way. What you're doing is
Oh, wait a minute. Hold the phone. Oh, he just said raw. Oh, gosh.
if you're cooking raw broccoli,
Maybe, okay. The word raw dog is what I'm thinking. If we can get some, like, I'll have to explore this on the next stream or just listen and see if I can form. If I can get raw dog, there's some possibilities there. So many possibilities. Ants is better than A Bug's Life. The animation in A Bug's Life is better than the animation in Ants, but the story in Ants is better than the story in A Bug's Life.
broccoli, it goes exactly the same way. What you're doing is you're reproducing this same method that they've told you about on the back of the package. And so, what you would do, we'll do it, is you would hack off your little florets.
Florets. Oh, gosh. There's a word that's so easy to sentence mix. I don't know if I want to sentence mix Tourette's here. Oh, man. Maybe it wouldn't be that bad. Okay, the broccoli has Tourette's, and then we have Tourette's guy. What do you think? Is that I don't know. Does that cross a line? I guess we'll have to find out.
We'll do it. Is you would hack off your little florets.
All right.
Your little florets.
So what I'll do is I'll pull this off. What I'm doing here is I'm harvesting as much as I can from these future clips. Yeah, the erotic fantasy line, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking, Mike B.
Cut them into the size you want. And of course, the smaller they are, the quicker they're going to cook.
We have very little time left.
That's true no matter what cooking method you're using. And then we put them into a bowl.
Let's see if we can just get one more thing done.
With a little bit of water in the bottom so that they're going to steam. That'll be about right for this. And then we're going to cover it. What we're doing here is we're creating a little environment where the hot spots and the cold spots have a chance to even out. The pressure building up under here and the fact that they are all in an environment which has basically a closed top with a little vent in the middle gives it an opportunity to even out the heat.
Or the broccoli from VeggieTales. Yeah, that's another good thing.
And make the cooking more or less even.
Do I like Ants or Bug's Life more overall? So I grew up with the VHS of Bug's Life. So I've seen it more than I've seen Ants. When I was younger, the termite versus ants battle in the movie Ants was scary for me, so I tended to steer clear of it. Honestly, though, I mean, I don't have strong feelings for the movie Ants. I have stronger feelings with A Bug's Life, mostly because it's a movie I grew up with. So there's some nostalgia there. I would choose A Bug's Life. Also, I think the animation is prettier.
So you don't have the hot spots and the cold spots, and it will sit and it will even out. Now, you can have a vent in the middle or you can have a vent at the side, but you must have a vent.
Ooh, a vent. There, okay. All right, so we'll pull this because there are a whole bunch of things that I think we can do with vent. Vent. Environment will explode. Yep. There's so many things we can make explode in this. All right, so I'm going to pull this off to the side. So what we've done is we've built quite a lot of ammo here. Quite a lot of ammo. Something that we can work on for next week. I think this is a great idea to pivot into next week with all of this momentum that we've built up from this stream. Jonathan Lonathan, my gosh, what a source. I feel like this is going to be a never-ending supply. I mean, the things does so much with these videos. I wonder how much we can pull from them. Well, either way, what a fantastic start to this video. So here's what's going to go down. Next stream, next week, same time, 7 Eastern Standard to 10 Eastern Standard. And in addition to that, I'll keep you updated on the videos that I'm working on that we've started in other streams, including the King Uses ChatGPT, including the coffee shop one, Velma. I'll also keep you updated on Beyblade, which I've been working on in, like I said, since 2022. That's one that's I'm gonna return to often here and there. So for now, we're gonna leave this right where it is. Unless, like I said, I see something that I want to do during the week and just want to add it right then and there. So guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you love these Thursday streams, well, stay tuned. We're going to have a lot more of them. Josuke, Mini Color Journals, thank you so much. Enjoy your evening or morning, wherever you are. See ya, Mikey. Guys, see you next week.